everyone, welcome back. It's Drop Frames time, aka Sunday. You're probably wondering, hey, where's that Max Dude guy? We're wondering the same. It might be a time mix-up. I realized on the Drop Frames tweet yesterday that there was no time zone attached to it, but we did have time zone, and he might have just gotten lost. He went to a Distant Worlds orchestra thing last night and maybe just got lost in the sauce. It happens. Got
lost. It happens.
So if he ends up joining us mid-show, we're equipped to handle that, and we can just swap over. And if not, we still got stuff to talk about. I haven't seen this Cohh guy in what feels like 6 months. What in a while? Yeah. What have you been doing? Where you been? How's it going?
Vacation and games and all the fun stuff, and yeah, been great.
How was the old? Was it a vacation or was it kid wrangling?
It was a trip.
It was a trip.
Yeah, when you go on excursions with kids, they're trips, not vacations.
Okay, trips. That's how you.
Yes, we went on a trip. That's right.
Yeah.
But no, it was fun. It was a really good time. We went to Washington D.C. and it was fantastic. We got to go to the Air and Space Museum, Natural History Museum, the zoo. Unfortunately, I was not aware that half the Air and Space Museum is currently closed for renovations. So that was kind of probably should have checked that before we went there. Yeah, apparently like 50% of it is closed right now. Like you walk in and just half it's closed. And then 25% of that, so 75% total, is opening up next year. And then all of it is going to be open in 2026. So they're apparently doing like a crazy big renovation, which is pretty cool. So that's cool. So maybe go back for that, because I was definitely wanting. The Air and Space Museum is like my big iconic museum. I have all these core memories from there. So we're definitely gonna have to go back for that. My kids love the Natural History Museum though, and the zoo was a big hit too. So it was very good.
Fantastic. What was your favorite animal at the zoo, Cohh?
Oh, there were so many, dude.
I like
so many fish I'd never seen before. I like turtles. Turtles are great. We saw some big turtles. Yeah, there were a lot of really cool things there. Probably I'm very partial to like mercats and things like that, especially when they're like in big colonies because they're adorable. So a lot of those are really
Have you seen that?
Did you get in the thing where you?
Yeah,
like,
that's what I was about to ask.
I didn't know, unfortunately.
Is that at that zoo or is that all?
I don't know if I saw it there.
Okay,
yeah, we didn't get to see everything.
Okay.
When you're trucking around 3 small kids and it's like 100 degrees out, you can't last for long. You gotta be quick.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Have you? Do they have any interest in going to Disney? Is that a family trip that is
on the list?
Okay.
We have an ever-growing list of places we're going.
Disney's a big one.
And that's
a big trip. Yeah.
That is on one of them for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Now we can talk. That's a great segue. We can talk all about the new park announcements last night, Cohh, because I know you're very excited about that. Wait 2 years and you'll have a whole new Disney to go to.
Sounds great. What's the current Disney like?
It's fine. It's it's
trash. It's garbage. Don't bother.
Garbage.
They're actually doing a lot of like renovations at pretty much every Disney right now and adding new rides. But yeah, they're adding like a villain land or something to one of the Disneys. So it's going to be an entire villain themed area. They're getting the Monsters Inc. ride. There's a new
a little late for that.
They're gonna didn't Monsters Inc. 2 come out, or isn't that slated to come out?
Oh, is it? Oh, I didn't know.
They're making Toy Story 5. I can't keep track anymore of what the sequels, the amount of movies that they're doing.
Wait, there was a 4?
Yeah. No, I never saw 2.
Shit.
Okay. I never saw Toy Story 2. So yeah. The message of that first movie was putting things behind you and moving on. But I guess they didn't get it. I guess money entered into the whole equation, and they just
Sweet,
like to make
delicious money.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
Always fun.
That is right. Anyways, that's enough about the old Disney parks. They had like their D23 celebration over the night. I guess there's gaming news there. Marvel and Fortnite are doing a new season that starts tomorrow, which has like I think it's Doctor Doom themed. I think he's like the big bad in it, but it's got all the other Marvel characters. Is it Friday? Okay, I thought it started tomorrow. Anyways, that was the video game announcement. But apart from that, D23 was kind of meh. And I would say the past week in video game news, there's not too much going on. People are. I think the industry is getting ready for the fall onslaught, which kind of starts at the end of this month. We've got Gamescom on the 20th, which will be next Tuesday. And then I guess the first big release of the fall will be out. Is that Assassin's Creed on the 30th? I think is the first big release. There might be something before that. There's a lot in early September. Space Marine 2 is one of them.
Wait for that.
Oh yeah, Wukong is also out on the 20th. I forgot about that. That's also on the 20th.
Oh, Wukong. Okay.
Yeah. And that's looking like
I
it's gonna be a
hope's
lot
there.
of fun. Yes.
Yeah.
Man, I'm jumping the gun, but I played Space Marine 1 for the first time this past week. Having known that you guys had pretty high praises for it, I was pretty blown away by how good that game was. That game's like shockingly pretty great. And the story was actually really good too.
Awesome.
I don't know how I didn't have any of that spoiled for me over 13 years.
So did you finish it?
Yeah, I finished it in one sitting. It was like a 6-hour playthrough. It was great.
So real talk. If you are planning on playing Space Marine 2, play and beat Space Marine 1. And we shouldn't it's gonna go. Space Marine 2 is gonna pick up right after 1, or at least shortly after, I think.
200 years after. Right? Yeah, if you go look at that trailer, he's got 2 extra bolts in his head. And those signify 100 years, I was told.
Oh.
So
okay. I'm on a Space Marine 2 blackout. So
okay.
All I know is it's the same guy. So I assumed it was okay, interesting.
Yeah. You got to check
mention that.
Okay.
Check the service studs.
I did not realize it had been that long.
When I returned from Burning Man on the 5th, I actually have someone who has requested that as their 100-month game.
Space Marine 1 or 2?
40K Space Marine.
Oh.
And they slotted it. They were like, you need to play it before the sequel comes out.
Oh, nice. Smart.
So, and the fact that you said you can beat it in one sitting.
I did. Yeah, I just played it on normal.
Okay.
I was told it got kind of spongy on harder difficulties, and also actually quite hard.
I don't think I played it on hardest.
Yeah,
I did.
I was told it got pretty difficult as well. But man, it's just like a power fantasy game where you're just walking around destroying people with really cool weapons and giant hammers and slamming aliens down into the ground. It felt great. I had a fantastic time. Orcs, a lot of fun. So then Space Marine 2 is also looking fantastic with everything that they've shown. I can't believe you're on. So have you seen nothing on Space Marine 2 then, Cohh? No trailers? Okay.
Not much at all.
Wow. No. Okay.
I've seen the initial trailer, the announcement one, but there was like a multiplayer trailer. I think there was maybe one other trailer I briefly looked at, but I'm not looking at any of the previews or completely avoided the leaks and everything, which, by the way, one of the most minor leaks I think I've seen in a long time. Are you aware the full client got leaked?
I saw that. Yeah. Someone said that someone was like streaming the full game on TikTok or something earlier this week.
The whole client got leaked, but that was I think that was a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And we haven't seen any like major issues or giant dumps of info, and that's been good. That's been great. Hopefully it stays that way before the release.
Yeah.
But I've been avoiding all that, and as I usually do.
Yeah.
I'm on my normal.
I'm not
blackout.
This would, apart from playing the tabletop, I guess this would be my first actual like dip into the 40K world, and the customization that they're allowing in the second one. I don't know if you tell me if that's spoiler territory, but they're like doing. You can like paint. It's basically.
I have heard that the customization in the second one is far beyond the first one.
It looks sick. Yeah, I'm holy
looking
shit.
Forward to checking that out.
It looks fucking sick. I hope that it's not, tied to a ton of like buy outfit type scenario or buy like paint jobs or anything like that. I hope it's all just in the game to earn. But yeah, it's looking good. It's looking good. What else happened over the past week? Like I said, not too much. Suicide Squad still sucking. That thing still, it caused a double-digit drop in Warner Brothers.
Let's check in with our man on the street. Let's see. Hey, Zeke, how's Suicide Squad out there? Oh, it still sucks out here. It's still fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. It's just bad all over.
Yeah. Not doing well. There is another news point, I guess, to discuss about that, but it revolves heavily around major spoilers in the game. But I guess if you played it, I'll say this. Apparently there was a plan when it came to the live service of that game to continue the main story, and the things that happen in the main story, I guess, make a little bit more sense if all of that stuff is true. So that's kind of cool. Who knows if they'll actually be able to tell that story, because the game might not last that long as a game. But
Ouch.
yeah, it's not doing well. Apparently, I'm just reading random headlines here now. Apparently, The Witcher 4, quote, won't focus on Geralt, which we knew, but the voice actor for Geralt said he'll be, quote, in a part of the RPG sequel.
Yeah, we knew that.
We knew that? Okay, we knew it was going to be
Yeah,
a part
we
of
knew
it.
that the next Witcher was not going to feature Geralt, but that he could be in it.
Gotcha.
So that, I think, that fired off the whole, like, who's it going to be? Could it be Ciri? It's going to be a new Witcher school, like all that stuff.
Yeah, okay, cool.
I really hope it's a new protagonist.
Well,
I could
I hope
see.
so.
No, not necessarily. It could absolutely be Ciri.
I guess it could be Ciri, you're right.
And honestly, exploring Ciri's power development could be a pretty badass game. Because, I mean, we're talking about a being that, like, the writers have literally given her almost zero real restrictions in terms of what she can do. So it's like...
You don't think that they would do the thing where it's like, oh, Ciri is now like a multiversal traveler, and they just like hop around to different like worlds.
So funny enough, we know that she can hop. Like, you played Witcher 1, right?
Yeah.
You remember what happened in Witcher 1,
Yeah,
right?
I do. I remember her story, yeah.
Well, and also the lead dude and his timey-wimey stuff, and they certainly have a lot of freedoms. I don't know if they're going to go like full Marvel multiverse with it, but
yeah,
they've clearly shown that they'll go timey-wimey with it, which is kind of okay. I love how I'm fine how they did it in Witcher 1. I thought that was kind of cool, where even though they had like visions of different realities, they were kind of like just that. They were kind of visiony, and then they tied it all together with the ending, which was really nice. But is that 1 or 2? No, it was 1. 2 ended in the... Oh God, now I'm getting them all confused. I think it was 1. Yeah.
Never
one was
played
the one
one
with the...
So I'll agree with you.
Yeah, one was the one where you chased the kid, and then the kid turned out to be the... Okay, yeah. No, we're good. It's 1. But yeah, so it was interesting how they did that, and I could totally see them doing that with Ciri. Also, Ciri jumps to different realms.
Oh, so it's not multiverses, it's realms.
And we know that like the Wild Hunt is from a different realm.
Yeah.
And Ciri, and so dimensions, I think, would be better than multiverse, maybe. And we know there's different dimensions, kind of thing. So, and also, of course, you have to remember the whole conjunction of spheres thing. So, like,
sure,
the premise in the Witcher universe is that like different realities kind of were slammed together, and then that created the whole deal that they're dealing with. So, yeah, planes and spheres, and
I learned that from the Netflix show
trapezoids. Yeah,
that was not great, by the way. Not the Witcher mainline show, but there was like another, like a side show. What the hell was the name of that?
It was a sideshow.
Yeah, it was bad. It got absolutely panned by fans. I forget what it was though. Blood something? Oh, it was the Blood Moon.
Oh.
Blood Origin? No. It wasn't animated, Chad. It was live action. And I think it like had to do with the whatever that word was, the shattering, or when the realm,
conjunction of spheres.
The conjunction of spheres. There you go. Yeah. There you go. Anyways, we'll see what happens.
Wow, I feel like I need a shower to wash off all that nerd I just went through.
That's true. Jason Schreier was talking. He did a bunch of reporting on Bungie the past week or two. And he was on the Friends Per Second podcast talking about Marathon, which is their like Tarkov-esque thing, extraction shooter. Yeah. And he said, quote, "It's not great from what I've heard," when he was asked about the sentiment around Marathon. "There's a reason it was planned for this year and slipped a whole year. People that I've talked to are a little pessimistic about it, even hitting its current planned deadline, but we'll see. I don't know exactly when that is, sometime in 2025, I'm not sure. But yeah, the sentiment I've heard is not great as of at least a few months ago. I can't imagine it's gotten better with all of the recent layoffs that have occurred at Bungie. So
it's so unfortunate, man, because like Marathon was a franchise I grew up with. It's an incredibly cool franchise, and whatever this thing they're doing with it now is nothing like what the previous game was at all. Like literally at all. Like there's nothing in it that's even remotely similar to the original. So I don't really know what they're doing with this. I think they're doing the same thing Bethesda did with Arcane, where they're taking an IP they had, they just want something to sell more copies for it. So instead of making like an actual new version of it, they're just shoehorning it into something else, exactly like Bethesda did with the Prey franchise in Arcane's game, which then later became Prey. So like this new thing that Bungie's making, like I even looked through the lore when they announced it. It's not even like tangentially tied to
related to it.
Yeah, it's like a prequel or something that like doesn't even relate to the events that happen in it. So I don't know. It's the loosest possible IP stuff from what we've seen. I mean, maybe they're planning more tie-ins, but I mean, at some point you just have to ask why. Like, why would you go to all the work of tying this completely different? Doesn't even look the same. It doesn't like. There's no aesthetic connection. There's no world connection. There's no lore connection. Like, it just feels kind of bad.
Yeah. We'll see what happens with that. Bungie is just not having a good go with it. I'm
still gonna check the game out. Hope the game's good.
Yeah,
but like,
yeah.
I
mean, the trailer
weird.
was cool. Like it, trailer was cool that they released, but who knows like how close to the actual game that is in any way, shape, or form? Because that was, I want to say that was like a year ago, if not half a year ago at the Game Awards. I guess was maybe when that might have been shown. It's been a while. I guess we'll see what happens with all of that. What else?
Speaking of bonering hard with your IP,
That's the technical term.
Borderlands.
Technical term.
Oh yeah, that movie came out.
I have not seen it. Have any of you seen it?
No, I don't have any plans to see it.
Apparently not.
Yeah, I saw
Apparently
that it cost 120 million to make, and I think it earned 8 million in the opening weekend.
God. 120 million to make that thing?
Yeah, let me make
out?
sure. Yeah, it came out. It's out. Borderlands box office.
Yeah, no, we were talking about this yesterday. How the previews came out, and like people were saying that the movie was pretty terrible. How it felt like all the actors were phoning it in. Like there was a lot of huge negativity. And the thing I was saying yesterday after reading the previews was I was like, hey guys, don't jump to conclusions. Remember, they said the Mario movie was bad too, and it turned out to be pretty good. Maybe the fans will like it, blah, blah, blah. Turns out that's just wrong.
Yeah. No, it's bad.
Okay.
Yeah. 115
Well,
million to make, and it earned 8 million.
I did see the Randy Banathon.
And Randy was going
Twitter.
off on Twitter and banning
He was
people that said it was
Oh,
bad.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah. That I saw, unfortunately.
Oof.
Now,
Yeah.
for those of us who might not know, who is that guy?
Randy Pitchford is the CEO of Gearbox.
President? Yeah,
of
let me
Gearbox.
see.
And
I
he
got
has
a title.
had a storied past,
Yeah.
to say, from leaving pornography on flash drives to doing terrible things to his employees.
Allegedly.
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 I don't want to get blocked by I don't
Thank you.
follow.
That's a good point. I should say these are just what was in the news.
Yeah.
Please do all of your own research, full disclosure. But the TLDR is that he has been in the news for more than a few negative reasons. But he has this rather enthusiastic fan base because people love Borderlands, and he is the face of Borderlands, to put it bluntly. So there's kind of like this, if you love Borderlands, a lot of people just defend him for the sake of defending him. So that's led to some very uncomfortable public situations when people have very valid criticism, and they have a rabid fans defending him from valid criticism. And that just leads to a whole bunch of things. And then it never helps in these situations when he jumps in and kind of shows to the world, hey, no, I am pretty petty. And it's just like, like, maybe don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah. He's also a magician. Can't leave that out. You can't leave out the fact he's a magician.
Yeah, like watch how we can turn these games into. You know what? Never mind.
All the jokes work. All of them work. They all play.
Watch how I turn this beloved IP into. It's a piece of shit.
You didn't think that we could make a movie this bad out of such a friendly and cool IP, but wait!
Yeah.
Whoosh! Pulls the thing down, and there's Kevin Hart like,
It's pretty crazy too that movie ended up bad with like it's got some crazy stars in it. Jamie Lee Curtis,
yes.
Kevin Hart,
Blanchett.
Kate
Dude!
Blanchett. Like,
so one of the reviews that I ended up seeing like the big quote from was that it claimed that every actor didn't care to be there, was not involved or knew what Borderlands was and understood what they were trying to project. And the only actor that they felt actually knew what they were doing there was Jack Black.
right? Yeah.
Apparently he said that the guy reading it that I was reading the review of said he watched the whole movie and he was convinced by the end of it the only person who actually knew what Borderlands was Jack Black.
Yeah.
That everyone else had never played it and had no clue what they were there for.
He was on. He did a podcast episode with Conan O'Brien. I think last week that I listened to. So apparently he did all of his lines for that movie in like a recording booth because he plays Claptrap, and so he was never on set with any of the other actors, and so they never got to interact with them. He told a story where like all the actors were in some jungle somewhere where they recorded this thing. And Jamie Lee Curtis actually called Jack Black and was like, "Why the fuck are you not out here?" And he was like, "I'll see you at the red carpet, Jamie."
Yeah.
I recorded all my lines already. So,
It sounds like such a wonderful. Yeah, that's.
I think it's. I don't know if it counts as irony or just like I don't know what it means, but it's funny to me that the worst character throughout the games is the best thing about the movie.
yeah, maybe so. It did not do well. A rough go. I don't even know if I will watch that if it comes to streaming, because it's pretty rough.
Not even worth your time.
Yeah, dude, I had so many people that joined the chat and were just like, I actually, like, they were giving, one person joined the chat and said, I got to see this movie for free and I still want my money back. And I was like, God damn, like, what? Like, is it just bad? And they said, no, it's not bad. It's just boring. It's like that age-old rule where it's like, it's either good or bad or boring, and boring's the worst out of all of those because it's just, you know.
Yep.
That sucks.
Damn.
Because I was actually like the more people talk about it, the more like things I see about it. Like it makes me want to go see it. Just like I went to see Cats in the theater. Like I want to see it.
Oh God, no.
And I just want to. And if it's boring, because okay, that's the one thing I will say about Cats. It's not boring.
No, that thing's a feast for your fucking eyes in some way.
It's yeah. It was a journey. It was a journey, but it wasn't boring.
Yeah.
Whereas if Borderlands is just boring, maybe I don't want to go see it then.
Yeah. I heard it was bad.
Yeah.
Heard it was bad. Don't have any other news or comments on that. Hey, did the two of you see this trademark that SEGA filed for Yakuza?
Yes. Yakuza Wars.
Yakuza Wars is a trademark, and they did state, and I think we talked about it on the show, where fans were going to be surprised by their next game. So maybe that's a September thing. I guess it could be a Gamescom thing, but it could also be a Tokyo Game Show thing in September. But I guess like maybe a tactics Yakuza game? Is that something that would
Dynasty Warriors?
Oh, Dynasty Warriors, yeah.
I'm thinking it's going to be more Dynasty Warriors style.
Would that be the first time you've ever played is that a Mushin game? What are those called? They have like a special brand.
It's interesting. There's a couple things it could be. So one of the things that we know that Ryuga Gotoku, one of the things that we know that Ryuga Gotoku is doing that's been awesome is, especially with the last two Yakuzas, they've wildly varied what genre it is.
Mm-hmm.
So the guess is that they're now going to be taking it into an entirely new genre. So the hope is that it's either going to be like Dynasty Warriors, or there's also talk of some kind of like PvP game, like maybe a MOBA or some kind of thing where you're like picking iconic characters and like actually fighting each other.
Yeah.
So there's lots and lots of interesting ways they could go with it. And here's the best thing. You want to talk about a company who has been analyzing and researching their player base over the last like 10 years. Think about how much data they have with how like what's worked in their mini games, what's not worked in their mini games, which are the most popular. So it's like, I can't wait to see what they come up with next, because I can almost guarantee it's going to be an evolution of one of the mini games we've played in the franchise already. Kind of like the turn-based stuff was from previous Yakuza stuff. So, you know, it's going to be cool. If there's one
I don't know
company,
about you, but I think we could use another hero shooter, and I think this is a good.
Damn it, Zeke!
Is that what you
did I steal
interrupted
your
him on?
idea?
I had a whole freaking thing for that.
Oh damn it! No!
That's
I was gonna set up the game and like describe it, and then end with like the perfect 5v5 hero shooter. Like, that
Damn
was gonna
it.
be this whole thing. It's okay though. It's okay.
We gotta have a signal,
okay.
man. Like do
I know.
do something like this, and let me know. Like, I'm
It's
going.
okay.
It's my
No,
joke.
we're good. But no, hey, great minds, right? Great minds. But the point is in this case, anything they put down, there are very few companies I like have almost fundamental like confidence in exploring new genres. They are one of them. They have so much experience making so many different types of mini games, and they do it so well that I'm very excited for whatever they come out with next.
Yeah, I mean, it could really could be anything.
To put it bluntly and a little bit of real talk, if there was some kind of 5v5 multiplayer, you pick a Yakuza character and it's like a brawler MOBA kind of thing, like, just saying, I might play it.
It'd be kind of crazy. It'd be the right amount of crazy.
Oh, dude, you're like
pick
pick a different family and like you play iconic characters from that family as your hero selection. And like you can play from different time periods, so like you can play like when they're all the strongest. And
How
like,
many Yakuza families are there in the games? Is there a good amount?
There's significant families. A lot of them change over time. So if they were to do something like that, they'd have to do like from this period, like the Edo, like this family from this period, this family from this period.
Yeah.
Period of the Yakuza, not like Chinese Edo period.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think they could make some very cool stuff from that. And if they did do something like that, they could be even cooler by having characters at different like parts of their lives, like early Majima, later Majima, which are two completely different people if you played the franchise.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I can't wait for people to get shit on for being like a Majima main. It's like,
oh, you're one of them Maji mains?
No,
Oh,
he's
good.
always a Majima main. Fuck him. He played Genji, now he's playing Majima. Fuck this guy.
Oh,
You
God.
play Kiryu? Oh, you and everyone else.
That would make me sad.
What are you gonna go play Ryu and Ken next?
No. Someone in chat said something. Said Yakuza Wars being like Mario Party, and while that sounds like I mean,
that'd be perfect.
If they did it, it'd be awesome
With all
because
the mini games. Oh wow.
Yeah, like have a
That'd be
karaoke
amazing.
battle, have
They already have it all made.
car racing, drones, like all that shit. There's so many
dude.
things you could do with that. I think that would be fucking great.
And what's even cooler is they make something like Yakuza Wars. Every time they come out with a new Yakuza game, they could update that with like a new big, here's the mini games from that one. Here's the mini games from this one. So, that writes itself, man. That'd be incredible.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excited to see whatever that is. May see it next week at Gamescom, or it could be, like I said, Tokyo Game Show in September.
Didn't they have like? I didn't really get into the mini game with this. It wasn't like there was like a battlescape, like wasn't it grid based like in one of the games where you would take your soldiers and fight other like.
Oh yeah,
Wasn't it like
there was the whole Majima construction thing. Which was this entire like they had different moves and you'd have different little armies you could upgrade and change. And then in Ishin, did you play Ishin?
Yeah,
Ishin did the whole dungeon thing and like the commander side army and oh man, yeah, they have so many things they could pull from for a game like that. I mean, at that point they just have to choose. But yeah, they've done some very cool mechanics that they could all combine to make some pretty amazing single player or even multiplayer experiences.
By the way, did you guys know the Cohh's in that game? I don't know if you knew that. I don't know if my chat tells me all the time that he's in a Yakuza game and I'm not.
And the old. God damn it.
He's a card. He's a card.
Yeah. I'm a card. I'm a card in the game.
That's right. That's right. Yeah.
That will forever be one of the coolest things I've ever done. Like,
it is pretty sweet.
it's hanging on my wall over there.
I can't be too mad about it. It's pretty great.
Yeah. Twitch news. The DJ category is now live on Twitch. I've seen a handful of people in my chat that just have the icon for shits and giggles.
Did anyone go to the big Zed concert?
I saw what's his name? Clancy up on stage with Zed when like they did the thing where it's like, oh, let's bring Clancy out. And then he like went over and gave him a hug and all that stuff. And there was people, doing what you do at a Zed set. But
we call that rolling.
Rolling. There you go. Yeah.
Rolling.
The front page has been DJs for 5 years now. It's not too different. I know what you're saying. But that's a little unfair. Clarity Zed. Zed's a big gamer. And so he's been around Twitch for a while now. He plays a lot of Valorant, I think, actually. But yeah, the DJ category is live. It's strange. You have to if you're already a partnered streamer, you don't want to do it because it'll actually mess up your account or something. And it's a different thing and there's different revenues with it. So you got to be careful about all that. I don't know if that stuff got fixed. It was just kind of you lose. Okay. So it's, I'm reading Zach Busey's tweet on this. It says Twitch has put a card on everyone's creator homepage encouraging them to sign up for the DJ program. Please be aware that you lose clips, VODs, and a portion of your revenue. It's not just free promo and the right to stream music, contrary to what the card says. Yeah.
I thought it was just like a mode that you put your channel in.
No, it's apparently only for DJs. It's not for.
I guess that's how they got around all the DMCA BS.
Yeah, I'm sure. So I haven't seen people super excited about it. I don't. Maybe that's a new market that they could try to. I don't know. I didn't see viewership on any of that. I don't even know what the viewership on the category is. Let's see.
A lot of people in chat are saying that's real quick. A lot of people in chat are saying it's terrible. But here's the important thing: this is the foot in the door. So hopefully, they've been trying to get this kind of stuff on Twitch, since Twitch has been around. So this is the first version of them doing this. And obviously it's directly for DJs only, which is fine. But hopefully we will see this evolve into, a mode for normal channels or something later where people can actually use it effectively. But it's forward motion, man. And it's a lot better than what we've had in the past, which is just this crazy amount of gray that no one really knows what's going on. And, to put it, again, I will give Twitch all of the guff when it's deserved. But this DJ tool is something that people have been asking for a decade. They've been asking for and what they've been asking for is black and white. This is okay to do, and you can do it on this platform, which is what that is. Yeah. Now, granted, it sucks in this iteration because of how many hoops they've had to jump through to make it work. But people have been asking for this for a decade. You got it. A little credit where it's due.
I haven't jumped into the category at all, so I can't speak to the quality of said DJ or anything like that. I would assume I guess you could probably find DJs of all skill levels throughout that category, but all I know is that it exists, and I've seen the tags in chat. So
somebody said the quote is, Twitch, you had nothing. Now you can have the little we allow, and you'll be happy about it. It's a very cynical way to look at it when it's the first iteration. You're not wrong. And there's a chance that they don't change or improve anything, then you'll be absolutely right. However, sometimes they do continue to evolve and change their features, and I'm hoping they do with this one. Yeah. But we'll hope that it keeps going.
Yep.
So from my chat, Scott wanted to know what Cohh, you were a DJ.
Yes.
But what would your DJ name be, JP?
DJP.
I'm sorry I asked. I didn't know you already had
your
one.
Name
ready to go.
Your name would be DJP?
Yeah. Or, DJ JP also works, but DJP works.
Yeah, maybe DJ JP.
I kind of like DJP, though.
Do you?
Unless my name is DJ pause P.
No, you do understand that DJs do not call each other DJs. They call each other what their name is. So you would just be being called.
What about
P all the time.
hold on. I see what you're saying, but what would
There we go. There it is.
what God damn it. What was No.
Take a
what,
second, we got
there.
there.
There was
R. Kelly would be all over you.
There was oh God, that's okay, that's definitely a comment. But no,
Literally, boom.
DJ AM. He called himself DJ. He was DJ AM, you know? He was popular, he was big, it worked.
DJ AM?
Yeah.
Wait, how do you know about DJ AM?
Because he was he died in a
MCU.
well no. He died in
he
a
was he was the
tragic
guy with-
accident, if I
was
recall.
That's DJ AM with the Travis Barker. Yeah. Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
That was,
Interesting.
it's rough.
Yeah. I mean, I would say he's a little bit more well known though.
What about DJ
You know what?
Khalid? What
You know
about DJ Jazzy Jeff?
Those are all great names without the DJ.
But no one calls
they
him
just
Jazzy
say-
Jeff. They say DJ Jazzy Jeff. That's his full name.
You think they call them? You think when they're having lunch together, they call him DJ Jazzy Jeff when they're sitting at the table?
No, but that's how he's introduced.
No, they call him Mr.
They
Jeff.
call him Mr. Jeff. Have you not been to a DJ Jazzy Jeff? I'm sorry. We can't have this conversation if you're not equipped for this, JP.
Oh my God, I'm sorry.
Zeke doesn't even know how to say Mr. Jeff's name properly.
What was
I
your
missed,
DJ name, Cohh?
I missed that
Unbelievable.
meeting. I missed that.
It's not public.
Oh, it isn't?
The,
Okay,
the,
never
the, the reason it's not public is because one thing you find out quickly when you start DJing is that promo and PR is everything. So, you instantly attach it to how to get in contact with me, how to find me, all that kind of stuff. So not really.
Okay.
It's as I have figured out, that's incredibly hard to scrub off the internet.
Wait, guys,
When you've posted it in 3,000 different locations.
Right, sure.
So-
yeah.
it was right there in front of us the entire time. DJ Wheat.
Yeah.
He goes by DJ Wheat. You call him Wheat, so people would call. The thing would be though is that people would. I guess you're saying they would just call me. P.
I have listened to you call DJ Wheat in person, JP.
No, I know. I don't. I've never called him DJ Wheat unless I'm on like a show talking about.
So are you seeing how this might be a bit of an
Yeah.
issue? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You could
Was
just
he
be
ever a
DJ.
DJ?
Wait.
Yeah.
You could cut out the middleman
There
and just be
was-
DJ Urine.
DJ Urine. Great.
So
Funny
you can be
enough,
like URIN. So people would be like,
You're
wait,
in.
does he mean like, am I ins? See, like,
Awkward.
oh my
Awkward.
God.
okay. Anyway.
Funny enough,
Awkward.
when I was living in Missoula, Montana, I met a dude and he was like, "My name's Rick," or whatever his fucking name was. But he said,
Okay.
"Yeah, I'm gonna do a set. My DJ name, I'm DJ Shitty." And I was like, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, that way if I suck, everybody just like, oh yeah, it's not just a clever name."
I like it.
That was
like
his
it, I like
excuse.
it.
I'm not kidding. It was great.
I like it. It's great. It's great. It's fantastic. Hey, here's a segue. Speaking of shitty, we haven't talked about the new Twitch app update on the mobile devices.
I've been doing a lot of talking about it.
Yeah,
actually.
that,
I think we all have. Yeah.
We did not mention it last week on the show, but fuck, that's bad. It's not great. And I'm very upset that my phone restarted, so it grabbed the update.
Sometimes things are bad, and you're like, "Oh man, this isn't that fun." Like it's like sometimes things are bad, and you're like, "Oh, this is like I don't want to use this. How do I get the other version?"
Yeah.
But sometimes, like in this case, things are so bad that you go, "Okay, the entire process that created this needs to be redone."
Sure.
There are numerous failings from numerous different directions that led to this. From poor design to poor testing to completely horrible UI layout to not properly implementing old features into new features to the thing itself just not working. If you actually sit and use the timeline, it doesn't work properly.
Yeah.
If you actually take the time to make things not interested, they still show up. Sometimes the stuff hangs and shows the wrong stream from the info that's selected. Sometimes the scrolling just stops working Sometimes if you flip back and forth between the clips too much, it just stops taking input completely. Like there are so many failings with this Twitch app that it makes you go, there are numerous teams involved in making this that should not be involved in making apps for phones. Or the people that are monitoring the teams that can do that are monitoring it so ineffectively and managing them so ineffectively that they're not able to develop even a working vision, let alone a good vision.
Yeah.
And then let's talk about the fact that it was actually released in this state, which is a whole other can of worms. Like, this was okayed in this state, which shows either a fundamental lack of quality assurance, like they didn't know the bugs were in there, or it shows a complete lack of caring. Like, they knew this shit was in there and they still put it out into the audience. So, like, and either of those failings for a company of Twitch's size, to put it bluntly, is embarrassing and shows a fundamental lack of something, be it leadership or management or something. Like that app is a symptom of a broken company. That's what that mobile app is. It is the effect of a company that is broken.
Sure. Yeah.
That's how bad it is.
It's strong worded, but you're not wrong. Like that app's terrible.
I wrote a long message to Dan, and I was like, man, like this app, if I did not need this app for my job, I would uninstall it. Yeah. Like, you have moved the follow button to the most unintuitive place that you can put it. Clicking on it then has a load delay that wasn't there before. Then it doesn't sort it. Then you can't sort it. Then it randomly sorts it. Then it doesn't show you the title. It's like you literally didn't even take a step forward and took 10 steps back.
Wait, where is the follow button?
It's in the top left.
Oh, the following button. Yeah.
The following button. They put, like, think about how you hold a phone.
Yeah.
They put the button that you would use for people that use the app the most regularly, which you would argue the ones that have people they already want to watch. They watch them every day. They put the button the farthest away from where you'd naturally hold the phone.
Yeah.
Again, it just goes to show, like, whoever designed this doesn't understand proper, like, how apps should be designed. It takes 2 actions to block a person on the timeline. It takes 4 actions to say you're not interested in them, and then being not interested in someone doesn't even make them not show up on your timeline.
Yeah. Wow. I had not even like dove into it that far. I was just like, God, this thing sucks. I don't really use it anymore.
It's totally right. It's just awful. If any actual Twitch user used this app, they would tell you within minutes it's unusable. It's baffling.
Oh, the top right is the okay.
And also here's another thing that's just crazy to me. How much do you need to completely not understand the people using your product to fundamentally realize that by opening the Twitch app, you don't want a bunch of streams you've never seen auto playing in front of you?
Right.
Like there's a giant portion of Twitch that have already found the people they want to watch, and they don't need the timeline. So having that be the default thing that shows every time, and then not even give you any control over what's on it, like, again, I could talk for another hour about this, but for my own stress and the show's sanity, I'm just gonna stop. But I literally, like the last 10 minutes, I could just keep doing this for the next hour.
Yeah.
And just keep going over features and changes and things they've done. Like
I'd watch that.
It's not very interesting. Trust me.
When Cohh gets heated.
It's not interesting.
I'm realizing
the only reason I'm heated is because I freaking want this platform to succeed, and it literally affects me when I see them take a gun and point it at their foot and just keep shooting it. And it's like, guys, if you do good, I do good. If you do well, we all do well. You're not doing good.
There's no foot left. There's no foot left. You're just shooting meat now.
I know.
So I
know.
I never scrolled the like. So there's the live section and then the clips section. The clip section is not terrible. I don't know how it's ranking this though, and there's no. Okay, maybe it is bad.
Oh, hey,
there's no like statistics.
No. I should say this. Let me end with something here. The idea behind the timeline, like a timeline for finding new streams and for finding fun clips and being able to connect all that, that's awesome. I love the idea of a Twitch timeline. And I know a lot of people don't like that, and a lot of people are going to hate that I'm saying this. But I like the timeline idea. However, they need to put it in a way that is properly like attributed and acclimated to their own environment. The timeline should be used and easy to access whenever the streamer is looking for new streams, and that's it. Or if they're looking for new clips, and that's it. The viewer. I'm sorry. Yes, the viewer. So, but the idea to have the timeline be like this foundational thing, the idea of Twitch becoming a TikTok, like that just shows you don't understand what your platform is at all. Like that's like, you can't do that. Like there's ways to do this where it would be awesome and it'd work great and I'd use it. And there's ways to do this like now where it's just could not be more wrong. Like this, you could not do this more improperly at this point in many ways. So it's,
What do you use the Twitch app for? Because I find I don't ever use it. So like I have no dog in this fight.
I use the Twitch app for all sorts of things. I use my follow list to follow not only streamers I watch, but also other streamers just that are large. I use it to see what people are playing. I use it to see what people are watching. I use it to get to my whispers because my whispers are open and I talk to people all the time through my whispers. I'm one of the 5 people on Twitch that uses the whisper system. So it's that kind of stuff. Anytime a new game comes out, I frequently will open up the Twitch app and look and see who the top streamers are streaming it. See if there's any new faces or people I've never seen before. See how they're doing. So yeah, I use the Twitch app for tons of stuff. See,
man, after all this time, you still have the hunger? Man, I lost that years ago.
I just use it. I mean, I just browse Twitch.
When my 3 kids are set for life, that's when I'll stop being hungry.
Oh, fair enough. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And I've got a thankfully for my fans, I've got a good ways for that. Got a very good ways for that.
Yeah, I don't use it for anything other than just watching streams. I didn't even know you could access whispers on it, so I never used that program.
Oh, I also I used to use it all the time for watching streams.
Yeah.
When in the morning I'd wake up, be drinking my coffee, my kids would be running around me. I'd pop my phone out, like King Gathalion. We always used to watch him in the Pirate. Or recently, Pirate Software, like his streams are in the morning, so I check him out. But yeah, like it's been really great. Now, unfortunately, I have to open up my follow list, and both King Gathalion and Pirate Software, who used to always be right at the top, same place every day, are now always 2 to 3 scrolls down my list.
Yeah, that's
randomly and never in the same place. So like I have to like scroll and then look at all the names, then scroll and look at all the names. It's just like,
well, if I'm not mistaken, if you go like on your browser, you go to your following list or following page, right?
Yeah.
On the left-hand side, it has the icons of all the things you follow in order of how much you watch them, right?
There's 2 different rankings.
Oh, no. No, that is the algorithm list, which is not in the order you watch them. That's the Twitch algorithm. If you're talking about the little circles on the left-hand side.
Yeah. The top like 4 are the ones I watch the most. Absolutely. Because right now,
makes sense because that's algorithm stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. JP, GDQ, Midnight Sumo, and Cohh. Like and whoever's on at that time is almost always who I watch the most. Now, why can't they do that for the app?
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you. I have no idea what the sorting is for the app.
I don't either.
It's not by
it seems
numbers,
completely
it's not by
fucking
viewing,
random.
It's not. Yeah, I have no, and it's different. That's the thing that drives
It's different
me
every
crazy.
time. Yeah.
It changes, and it's just like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not great. Not great.
Anyway, can we never talk about it again?
Well, they're gonna make changes to it, so we'll talk about it then.
I'm gonna bring it up every week because this Cohh is my favorite Cohh.
No. Well, more to be fair stuff. Dan actually responded to the book that I sent him, and he was like, "Appreciate the feedback. Just want you to know for sure. Follow list sorting is coming, and also the ability to see titles, at least partial title stuff, is coming back as well. So they're going to allow for follow list sorting and being able to view the titles. I didn't even think of that.
You can't see titles. There's no way to see it.
Nope. There's no titles.
You're totally right. Holy shit. Man.
I wonder how many people just went delete Twitch app, use view as browser.
There are some
Cohh.tv/mobile app. Just saying. Cohh.tv/mobile.
That's a great way to view co-stream. There you go.
That's funny.
Now, unfortunately, our app just opens the Twitch app, but then you
Yeah.
don't have to deal with any of that.
There are some like third-party Twitch apps though that I've seen people talk about, but I don't know any of
Oh yeah,
the names.
I've had
I
some.
haven't seen
I've had
any
some
of
good
them.
ones suggested to me. I haven't
Yeah.
actually tried any of them yet, but apparently there are multiple non-Twitch Twitch viewer apps that have like all the same functionality of the old version of Twitch. So I'm going to check the changes that come out next, and if they're not like night and day, then I'll probably find one of those apps.
People are saying Frosty.
Frosty.
Yeah, I've never interacted or seen it, so.
That's been one of the ones that was recommended to me a lot.
Oh, that's cool. It's got 7 TV emotes on it. That's kind of nice.
Mhm.
It's an interesting thing for.
It sounds funky to say like the best way to view this first party thing is through a third party thing, but like
It's kind of.
I thought about it and I'm like,
Yeah.
that's how I've had better Twitch TV, FFZ, 7TV, like that's how I
Twitch
have
is
had my Twitch forever.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it's been for a long time.
I don't even remember what the original Twitch site looks like anymore.
Is
it probably
this
burned my fucking
update?
retinas out
Wait a
because it's
second.
so like white.
I do. It was green.
Is this
back in the day.
recent update some kind of like Gregorian attempt to chase everyone away from the Twitch app so they can shut it down? Because it's costing them too much money?
No, you think it? How would it cost them money? What?
Like Elon did for
Well, clearly they already fired all the devs.
Well,
Have you not seen the most recent update?
I guess that's true. Yeah, sure. That makes sense. True. Anyways, that is pretty much all the news I got. I don't know if you guys have anything else to add in or if chat has anything else to add in. I was just checking the other usual spots to see if there was anything else.
Does Twitch not have a berry? Like that just magically fixes everything.
Oh, I'm sure they have a bunch of berries, but
Twitch can't afford a berry.
uh,
Not
Right,
these days.
right.
yeah. They probably have a lot of berries, but the berries don't have the right to just do things on their own internally, and probably are watching this and just going,
Unfortunately,
"Fuck."
it doesn't matter how good a berry is if there's not a Bob from management telling him how to be good. And at a company like Twitch that is Amazon structured, yeah, it doesn't matter how talented the coders are. It doesn't matter how hard they work. It all relies on management flowing and working properly. And we all know how that works in corporate environments.
Sure. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Now this isn't game related news, but I saw something recently and it made me go, I think I could be an Olympian.
I was hoping that's where this was going.
Yeah, did you see the Australian breakdancing?
So I
Have
watched.
you seen any gifs or clips or memes? Because holy shit.
So I actually watched
my
both the B-girl and B-boy competition at the Olympics Friday and Saturday morning. Yeah. Unfortunately, the one that took off first was the Australian B-girl Olympian. First off, I feel really bad for her. Second off, that shit is funny as fuck. 'Cause holy shit. I don't want to show footage because the IOC is the IOC and they'll get the lawyers out there. But man, yeah, those memes and that footage is crazy.
yeah,
it's
somebody just
wild.
said this in my chat, and I'm gonna go ahead and repeat it. That's the kind of situation when the people that make SNL watch that and they just go, "We got nothing to add."
Totally.
Yeah.
That's that. Like honestly, the funniest thing that SNL could do, and in the small chance that someone from SNL ever gets this, please do this. This would be the funniest thing that would ever happen on SNL. Mark my words. Introduce the skit like you're gonna make fun of it, and then just play the actual thing from the Olympics, and then end it like a skit. That would be the funniest shit that would ever be on SNL.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
don't
and
change
she's
the
qualified
thing.
too. Like,
Well,
it's
did you
funny, like,
see,
she has all these qualifications.
Oh
to be
yeah.
there.
No, she
But
she
then
is.
you see like it in practice. It's a difference between being, a doer and a knower.
Yeah, I saw talking about like avoiding DMCA and discussing it. Moist Critical did a video on it. He's a big YouTuber if you've never heard of him. And instead of showing the footage, he reenacted the dance in his video.
Oh God, I'm gonna have to see this. Oh no.
Which is a pretty brilliant way of like getting around that.
Oh, Charlie, what have you done?
It's really
One of my
good.
favorite memes that accompanying it, because there was a lot, but one of my favorite ones was when I put my little kitty, when I tried to put a little cat sweater on it.
Yeah. The one that one was good. I like the one when someone quoted Saruman in the tower when Gandalf gets thrown around. That was fucking funny.
Dude, what?
Real
quick.
fucking funny.
My kid just come down and needs some help. I gotta go AFK for a second, but keep going.
Right.
Be right back.
Yeah, it all of they're just there's one where the chef reacts guy or whatever was like when someone asked me to clean under the oven or the line cook or whatever. Yeah, the gray strap, but it shows him doing that. Oh my god, there's just awful. It's awful. It also I learned a lot about how sports are chosen. And that the reason that breakdancing, because a lot of people are like, why the fuck is breakdancing in the Olympics? The reason is because Paris chose for it to be added to the Olympics this year. And at the next Summer Olympics in 2028 that are in LA, it will not be there. And so this is kind of like one and done.
Is it? Okay.
For breaking. Yeah. I think
I didn't know. I thought once something was in, it was in.
that's what I thought too. Yeah.
Okay.
But I guess the hosting city can like determine what sports are going to be there in a lot of ways.
Seems weird that LA wouldn't have it as well. Like,
Yeah. Apparently that decision was made before the breaking event even occurred. And so it wasn't in like response to, I guess, the pushback if there was one. But yeah. Oh, LA is adding flag football. That seems kind of like U.S. dominant.
dude, I'm down. I'm. You know what? I love the weird sporting categories. I love them. They're like, just watching this shit. Like, I didn't know that. I was like, why have I never seen breakdancing in the Olympics before?
Yeah.
New event. Okay, we're gonna see it from now on. No, you're not. What?
Yeah. No, I'm
Keep
actually
that shit in. The weird shit is awesome.
I'm legitimately sad that it's not going to be there because like the men's competition was fucking crazy. It's what you would expect to see from like world class breakdancers. It was awesome
It's
to
sad
watch.
that it's getting like this is
It
what's
is.
getting the most attention.
It is, yeah.
Speaking of getting attention in the Olympics, you see the French pole vaulter?
I did, yes. The French pole vaulter is he's all the rage right now.
I could not see him.
Yeah, he's all the
Let's
rage.
be honest with you.
The Olympics has been kind of crazy this year. Just like the latest. Did you see that latest drama where they're taking the bronze medal away from the gymnast, the U.S. gymnast, because I forget the exact reason, but it's like a super bullshit fucking reason of like they were 3 seconds late or something from a judging perspective to do something. The coach challenge came in. So apparently they can only do it a minute. They have a minute after the rulings or something. And they were 4 seconds late. And so they awarded her the bronze medal. And then as of like yesterday, they announced that they're stripping her of the bronze medal because another team contested it and they like timed it out and it was 4 seconds late. And so now it's going to a different person.
Do they know which team it was? Was it the French team?
No, apparently I think it was Romania. Was the challenging team. But yeah, that's gotta suck. That's dog shit. Yeah.
You ever been in anything where you got like
I can't hear you. There you go.
I just said that sucks.
No,
Yeah.
I read the words.
Yeah.
Just
That sucks, man.
Yeah, it's bull.
You ever been in anything like any like, I don't know, when you were younger days, like in sports and you got like hit with a technicality? Like how much that fucking blows?
Yeah, I'm
like
trying to
or even like even playing like competitive like card games, that would happen. Be like, do this, it's like well, it's not fully tapped or whatever the fuck you want to come up with. And you're just like, come on, man. They're like, rules is rules. I'm like,
It never
Rules
feels
are
good.
rules, dude.
Yeah,
Rules
never,
are rules.
never feels good at all.
Yeah.
It's not a great situation to be in, but
yeah.
I can't think of any instance specifically for me, but I've definitely had stuff happen where it's a technicality.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but the Olympics are an interesting thing.
I gotta say, I haven't watched a single second of it live, and I don't feel like I need to, because like I get all of the highlights on the Twitter sphere.
Yeah, social media definitely is one of the best places to catch it. I watched the soccer finals yesterday, the women's soccer finals where we won. That was a lot of fun. And then I watched the breakdancing, and I've caught like a couple other. I watched the men's basketball stuff because we won that. Yeah, it's also funny because chat says we ? That's the other funny thing about the Olympics is you don't give a shit about your country until you're in the Olympics, and then you're like, USA,
Like,
we're the fucking best.
It's like the World Cup. It's like the World Cup in soccer here in the States. Where it's like, what? No, we never play soccer. Oh, wait, it's the World Cup? Yeah, USA! Woo! Go team! Love soccer.
I am
really cool.
absolutely 100% guilty of that.
Yeah.
I am guilty of like, man, America fucking fucks up shit all the time. Oh my God, this country, what is happening? USA, go, 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 yay!
Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's always fun to do. There was one thing in terms of just crazy like Olympian feats of strength. There was a weightlifter who I think weighs 170 whatever measurement. It might have been pounds. They might have actually translated it for like American audiences. And he won gold by I think is it a clean jerk where they like lift it up?
Clean and jerk.
Clean and jerk,
Oh,
yeah. He did 470 pounds, 3 times his body weight or some shit like that. Just like an astronomical amount of that's crazy. That's absolutely
crazy.
insane to see that type of stuff. Is it jerk? No, it's not jerk and clean. They just wanted me to say that.
That's a Friday night.
Yeah, that's Friday night, guys. That's not an Olympic event. That's Friday night. Yeah. Anyways, that's our Olympic coverage. Tune
If
in.
there was an Olympics for it though.
Tune
Hey,
in,
LA, are you
2 years from
listening?
now.
You're listening? Apparently you can add events.
You can indeed. Someone said they were going to add baseball, which I was kind of shocked. I guess like Japan and Korea and play baseball. But,
Yeah.
anyway.
Oh yeah, like that would be our biggest competition. Obviously, would be Japan. Like, I would love to see that. Do they ever do that? Do they ever do like best team of Japan, best team of?
There's like
US?
the World Classic. There is a competition, and I want to say that Japan won recently.
Okay.
The World Baseball Classic, is that what it's called? World Baseball
Okay.
Cup Classic, yeah, something like that. And I don't think
Dominican
US
Republic,
wins.
yeah.
So, anyways, video games. Let's get back on track.
I went to a
love that
baseball
idea.
game recently, and it's still boring. Just in case you're wondering.
Okay, all right, noted. Well, understood. What have y'all been playing? Let's start there. Cohh, what's your latest addiction? Where you been?
Man, I am all over the place. So I'm still doing some. Well, I guess it's pretty much done. I was doing an Elden Ring Dex run, but I've since got flooded with other things.
Yeah.
I then started playing the Calamity mod for Terraria. I've been having a huge amount of fun with that. That is basically Terraria 2 for those that have never played it, and it is amazingly awesome. Just it's phenomenal. And then I also started playing 7 Days to Die, the 1.0 release of that, which has been great. I'm just in the second biome, got a run going. I think we're just about to day 21. That's been really fun.
Okay.
And then a few days ago, I found this awesome game. I did a sponsored stream for it because I'd never heard of it to try it. And now I have like, I think almost 15 hours in it, and I'm loving every second of it. In fact, it's one of my favorite games in a long time. And that game's called Knock on the Coffin Lid.
Yep.
And yeah,
I played that.
Yep. things have been good. So I've got some other games that I want to start, and all those games I'm still finishing, and cruising along, man, cruising along. And lots to do.
Let's. I think most people.
And a Pathfinder run.
I think most people are aware of most of those games, except for maybe Knock on Coffin Lid. And I think
Knock on the Coffin Lid.
I think both
like
you
brand
and
new.
Zeke played it, yeah, or did a sponsored stream for it, or something like that.
Yep.
So what? How does this work? What is this? What's going on
So
here?
Knock on the Coffin Lid. And you remember that game that came out from CD Projekt Red called Thronebreaker?
Yeah.
So Thronebreaker, what they did was they essentially took Gwent and they turned it into like this full big RPG where you had like an equipment and there were like random encounters, and like it took all the stuff that I loved from Gwent, but then it turned it into this like next level of game. That's kind of how I feel about this game if you were to compare it to Slay the Spire. So Slay the Spire, which I have not played for the record, but I've watched a lot and I know all about the game. Slay the Spire is incredibly deep, one of the coolest games of its type, very gameplay focused, lots of different heroes. But again, Slay the Spire, all about the gameplay. Knock on the Coffin Lid is like that, except there's like tons of really well-written dialogue, full voice acting down the main line, interesting characters. The characters all have different builds that you can do. There's a full equipment loadout where you're constantly gaining equipment. There's sets, there's different bonuses. There's like so much depth to this game. And on top of that, the way that it works is that you're constantly moving through the same few maps, but on different characters, they do different things. It tracks what you've tried, so you know what to try differently the next time. Nothing really does what you expect most of the time, and sometimes it's like pretty freaking hilarious what happens. The writing is decent, the voice acting is decent, like the music is good. It's just one of those games that like the whole package is just very solid. And my 2-hour sponsor stream, like I said, has turned into, let's see, what am I up to now on this? I currently have, and I'm still, for the record, very much still playing. Why does it not say how many hours I have played? It just
Probably got to close the game.
Oh, there it is. 17 hours. No, I'm not.
17 hours. Okay.
This is not a game you could play off stream, for the record.
Oh, okay. You got to focus on it.
No. Oh, well, not only do you have to focus on it, but every time you do a run, unless you do exactly something you've done before, you will see new things. And there are a lot of times when new things happen completely unexpectedly. So to give you an example, like at one, with one character, I'm walking down the map and I get to this guy at a gate, and it's like, hey, you meet this guy at a gate. Okay, he asks you to pay him. You can pay him, or you can fight him, right? If you pay him, it costs you gold, he lets you through. If you fight him, some interesting, unique stuff happens. If you pay him the first time, the narrator character goes, why did you just pay him what you had? Why didn't you try to haggle? Like, come on, man, what's going on with that? It's a little spoilery, but I'll give you an example of what to do. So the next time that you finish that run, you start a new run, could be a different class, could pick a completely different direction, whatever you do. You get back to that gate guy. This time, the fight option still has a question mark by it. The pay option, though, instead of being a question mark, now shows a resolution button. Like, you pay him 500 and he lets you through. Now there's a new option that says haggle. And it's like, oh, okay, that's weird. The guy told me last time I was here that I should try haggling. Now I can try haggling. You click on haggle. The thing comes up and it's like, okay, you try to haggle with the guy. You go back and forth. It's kind of a big deal. Eventually he's like, look, just give me all your gold and we'll work with it. You pay him more gold than he charged you and he lets you through.
Yep. The premise, the premise of the game that I really like that Cohh was kind of explaining in a TLDR is that like you die, but you have experienced this. Like your character has experienced all of this, but you start at a set point in time every time you die. So like it's very roguelike in that fashion. Like it is a roguelike is, right? You come back with knowledge, but the game mechanics respond to that knowledge as well.
And what's even cooler is, unlike a rogue which resets everything, this game does a really good job of like tracking all the choices you've made. So anytime you get to an area with choices, if you've done the previous choices, they look different and you can mouse over them to see what the resolution encounter is. And if you've never done it before, it's a question mark. So as you're, and on the map, as you're moving around, things are question marks or icons for confirmed events. There's like 90 different events, and each one of them has like wildly different things that can happen, and then they can all morph and change in different ways based on what you do, what character you're playing, what class you're playing, what items you have in your inventory. It's a lot. So this is one of those games where it's very clear that the devs spent a long time just making all of these little things, making sure they all work together, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And it shows when you play it. Like it's a super well-made game on all fronts. It's not lacking anywhere. Like everywhere, everything works well. Everything's pretty good. There's almost no bugs. It's very visually appealing. It's fun to play. The story's interesting.
The one thing that sometimes these card games have a barrier for entry for me personally is that they give you too much at the start. They just top load it with all the info. This is a very good, like, Slay the Spire, where they give you, attack and defense. Like, that's all you get to start with. You get attack cards and defense cards. And they're the same, like 4 of the same 8 damage cards, 4 of the same 8 defense cards, or whatever. And then they add mechanics as you go. So it's very, very good for learning and piecemeal for someone like me. A lot of card games fall into that pitfall of like, here's everything right at the top. And you're just like, I don't want to read a novel before I start playing. This is one of those games that kind of eases you into it.
Nice. And is this 1.0? Like, I've never heard of this game.
Yep.
Till you guys, I saw you both sponsored to play, and I was like, what the fuck is that? Tuned in, was like, huh,
I think it's
random card game.
I think it's been in development for a while, but
Okay.
it is now 1.0.
Okay. And can you explain the name? Is that a saying or something?
The premise is that at the beginning of the game, you're in a coffin and you get a knock on the lid, and you get out of the coffin. So the idea is every time you die, you appear back in the coffin, and they give a knock on the lid to wake you up and get you out again.
Okay, that's clever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does it have different difficulties or one difficulty? And...
Yes.
Oh,
4 different difficulties. And then there's 3 different characters, and then each character has 4 different classes. And each class, it varies wildly in terms of how it plays. Like, it changes what cards you have available, it changes the passives, everything.
You think it would work well on like Steam Deck?
Yes.
Okay.
I think there's some
I might
issues
check
right
it
now
out.
because it's not technically controller compatible.
So is it
um,
not Steam
what I
Deck
think-
verified? Let's see.
So what I think I heard happened is you have to use the emulated mouse movement. But somebody in my chat said that seemed to work fine. So it's, as long as you're okay doing that, you should be good.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about it on in terms of being like verified. So I'll look into what you just said. I will be away next week, so I might check this out. It seems like a game to pick up, play 1 or 2 levels, and then set it down and move on. And it looks to be 20% off right now. I'm sure you guys talked all about that during the sponsor portion.
I didn't. I probably should have.
Wait a minute, what?
It's 20% off.
I probably should have.
God damn it. It wasn't 20% off when I was doing the stream. That would have been nice.
Looks like you paid the wrong people. Knock on the coffin lid.
No, I went to the page going like, and it's full price. Oh shit.
Oh,
Because usually like everything on Steam has a
it's
discount.
got a sale on it. Yeah. Cool. That is a very interesting game. I had not heard about. Seems like is it doing well? Like, are people gravitating towards it?
Well, a quick look at one of the best ways you can tell if a game is doing well, particularly on Steam, is to see how many reviews are being left. And right now we have very positive with 772 reviews. So I would say not bad. It is by no means a hit yet, but it is, for considering it was released 3 days ago.
Yeah.
It's
And,
going.
and for
pretty
those
well.
of you wondering, because Cohh did a good job of explaining like how it's different from Slay the Spire, and it is. But I will say, if you enjoyed Slay the Spire, you will probably enjoy this, which was me.
Okay. Cool. That's Knock on the Coffin Lid. I don't know if I like the game name. I might.
I actually, yeah, I'm in the same boat. It's a little long and doesn't really make sense unless, I agree.
Well, if you're like me, right at the top of the sponsor stream, and I was like, hey, thanks everybody for joining me. This sponsor stream of Cock on the Coffin Lid.
I was gonna say, if you didn't put cock in there somehow, I'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not even a joke. That actually happened.
Oh God, that's the intro going over again. We're gonna restart the show on that. Jesus.
Knock on the Coffin Lid, chat, whenever you have a chance.
Yeah, that's a doozy. That's a name.
A doozy.
Cool.
Yeah, there's currently 2,226 people playing the game right now.
Cool.
Yeah, doing pretty well.
What have I played a Battlefield Light?
Is this Delta?
Yeah, like
Well, that's weird. It's a Battlefield thing? I thought it was a Tarkov thing.
it's a Battlefield thing that's also Tarkov thing. It's got 2 game modes. It's got 3 game modes in it, really. It's got a campaign, a Battlefield map, and a Tarkov mode. Which
And they all work together, or they're all
they're all
independent?
kind of like independent. From my
Is that
understanding.
why it's called
so
Delta? Because Delta Triangle?
Maybe, I don't know.
Okay.
Or it could just be that they like D. So with this particular case, does the extraction loot have any effect on the Battlefield game?
Not to my knowledge, no. I only played the Battlefield
Oh.
portion. I did not play any of the extraction portion.
So they were just like, cool, we'll just make 2 different games then, I guess.
I guess, yeah. I guess all you really need is like gunplay, like solid gunplay for both of those things to work. I also, chat, is the Tarkov version, is that PvE or does it also have PvP in it? Because I saw someone saying, oh, it's like a PvE Tarkov. Oh, it's PvPvE. Okay, so kind of, I guess
Just
kind of
like
Tarkov.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I wasn't super jazzed. I was kind of just looking for something to play and stumbled upon this. It's only key access right now, and they're doing this dumb fucking trend that's happened now, both with
the Twitch drops thing?
yeah, with Marvel Rivals did this, and now this is doing it. And I want to say that there's another game that's also doing it, where like they have drops, but those drops are keys for the game, and there's only so many keys per day, ? And so unless you're there, Mecha BREAK was also doing it. There's only so
Mecha
many.
did it?
Yeah, there's only so many keys per day. So unless you're there right when the keys reset, you're not going to get keys to the game, which is really silly. And I hope that's not going to become a norm when it comes to that stuff, because you get some rightfully angry viewers who join a stream and like, oh man, I watched for an hour, 2 hours, whatever it is. Where's my key? And you have to tell
You're
them,
like, lol,
oh,
nope.
They only put a certain number of keys up per day, dude. I'm sorry. Like, check back tomorrow.
Good luck.
Good luck. It's really shitty. Totally. I totally understand they can't allow unlimited players for tests, but don't do drops then. Like,
Yeah, don't exactly. Don't do it through the drop system is what we're saying, like in that thing.
It's
breeding bad vibes.
And it's specifically for streamers because we look like the bad guys when we have nothing to do with it. We're just streaming the game.
We're kind of stuck holding the bag, explaining the bad decisions of the devs.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. And that's the other thing too, is we have to be like, yeah, the devs did a bad thing. And so then immediately, if I'm a dev, they're like, well, this fucking streamer shit. Like, why would we want to do anything with this guy? They're bad mouthing our entire practice, blah, blah, blah. And then it also leads to like Marvel Rival keys at one point were going on eBay for like 30 or 40 bucks. So like then people are starting to sell all that stuff. It's a shit show with the drops and the keys thing. So I hope that practice is no longer is on its way out, is I guess how I would put it. But all that aside, this game's actually a ton of fun. It's like basically Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4, if like EA made a competent Battlefield of modern day. Like it's
Wow.
it's pretty good.
Kind of brutal.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 2042 was not everyone's favorite, right? Like it had a lot of issues with it. And this kind of like does a pretty good job of emulating that Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4 feel. I personally think 2042 is in a pretty good state right now. It was not great when it launched, but they've done a lot to that game. But this being eventually a free-to-play game, I think is a great like entry point for people looking for a Battlefield experience. And it costs nothing. And it also has that whole extraction shooter and a campaign thing. That being said,
Here it comes.
it's got some strange things in it. And when I say strange things, weapons, so it has a very, very involved weapon loadout to where you can like, where's my mouse? I lost my mouse. Here it is. You can like really go in and do some crazy modifications to a gun, right? Like 70 to 80 different things that you can modify a gun with. You get those by leveling up a gun. Okay. You level up guns by getting, wait for it, experience tokens. And experience tokens are earned by, wait for it.
Don't say you buy them.
Daily quest.
Oh.
And they might be something that you can buy later on because it's a free-to-play game. So you might have some way to level up. I had a level 60 AK because I did all my dailies. And they had issues and gave out a bunch of like epic level XP things. But you can also just play to like level up the gun, right? But there's no way to spend money yet. I would suspect that that's going to be a way to spend money down the line. Is having some way to like buy XP tokens. Because there's a lot of guns, and like I said, there's a shit ton of attachments per weapon. I made a awful gun here at the end of the game where I put, okay, this is me sniping. I put three lasers on my gun so when I shoot, it looks like a fucking predator. It's really stupid. But it's also just really cool that exists. That you can walk around.
Anytime.
Yeah. There's no benefit to it, and I think your teammate just sees 3 laser like it's a fucking DJ show or something. Like a trance set as they see these lasers going throughout the map from one singular gun. So that was cool. I had a lot of fun with that, but the gun leveling thing was kind of strange. I don't know what the full scale of that is going to be, and if that is going to be something that you like can buy to where it's like, let me get 10 gun leveling things, gun XP nodes or whatever it is, because that could be kind of strange. But apart from that, gunplay felt good. The game felt good. It ran very well. I was playing at 4K with like everything maxed out, getting 140 plus FPS. There's a shit ton of people playing in the battlefield. It's like Rush, the old game mode where you kind of like move forward down a map, and it pushes the team back, or if they hold, then it pushes them forward.
I just noticed you also have 3 scopes on it.
Yeah, I put 3 scopes.
Sights.
Yeah, you put 3 sights on there. You got your main ACOG that could do ×7. Then you got your second sight to where you tilt the gun. Then above.
I do scope my scopes for extra
yeah,
scope.
Yeah, and you put fuck it, why not? Right? It's a level 60 AK. I gotta flaunt what I got.
DJP coming at you with the laser light show.
Exactly. It was cool. I was very much enjoying the gunplay and like the battlefieldness of it. It still has the crazy moments that you would expect from Battlefield where like a tank will explode and do a fucking 720 in midair and land right in front of you. And there was a helicopter that was falling down to the ground, and I just hip fired, and apparently it shot the guy that was driving the helicopter and killed him before he landed. So like, it has those EA branded quote battlefield moments.
Battlefield moments.
Yeah.
That's right.
From back in the day.
Moments.
I did not play the Tarkov thing. I saw I think like Shroud and them were playing it, and they seemed to speak pretty favorably about it. But apart from that, I don't know anything about this game. I have no idea when it releases. I just jumped in yesterday and played for about 90 minutes and had a pretty good time with it. I really want to see what they do with the like in-game purchases. If that's really going to be level up your gun, which you like to reiterate, you can do just by playing. I did do that, but I got to level 6, I think, in like an hour. And then I used all those experience nodes and got to level 60. and that just gave me more attachments.
Jesus.
Didn't give me any like extra damage or anything. It just gave me more options to put a different scope on, or 3 lasers and 3 scopes with a extra mag that I don't know what it does. Makes me reload faster. And then you can even go into each like, so you can change like the stock on the gun. And then you can go and edit the stock to make it like recoil less or recoil more, and kick. It gets real granular, and it shows you the stats that it's messing with. And then you can even save the gun loadout and share that. It gives you a code that you can send to someone else, so then they can just like download your gun if they have all the attachments unlocked, which is kind of a cool system.
Kind of cool, yeah.
Yeah, which is unique. If you see someone like, you know, a streamer with, if you guys want the code, I know a guy that can get you the 3 laser, 3 scope gun. It's really
I've heard
good.
of that.
Yeah,
Heard about that on Reddit. Yeah.
It's really good. Look at this. Look at this pinpoint accuracy of this poor guy. I missed every fucking shot on that guy. Okay, we hit the last.
I watched your clip of this clip earlier, and it looked like you were shooting at a guy, like trying to plink him, and then this huge explosion just blew him to hell.
Yeah, it's got like
as you were looking, was some. Why don't you use the tank? That looks like the best option.
I got in it.
Oh, there you go.
You can
There you
see
go.
what happens when you get in a tank. I was like, oh, look at these guys. I got like a little shotgun thing. This is great. Oh man. Oh God, it's another. Oh, that's one shot. And here's the other shot. Oh, we're dead.
Yeah, big vehicle, big target.
Yeah. If you get into a tank fight with an Abrams, you're probably gonna fucking lose that. It has like not kill streaks, but your in-game points can then be used to call down different things. So to get like those
Call of Duty
vehicles,
style. Yeah.
they're using in-game points.
Okay.
You can call down like an artillery strike. I think the top one is like a guided missile, and it does like a huge fucking explode. I saw people get like, 20 and 30 kills with one missile, and that was really cool. It's got some interesting ideas in it, and I think a lot of people, especially the Battlefield community, felt a little bit slighted by 2042, and they're kind of flocking to this. If you do happen to get a key, the first thing you're going to want to do is hit enter.
Sell it.
And change the channel from global to like whispers or something, because the global channel has absolutely zero moderation in it. And I mean zero moderation in it, because the first thing I saw when I clicked into it yesterday was
Stuff you can't say on this show.
a bunch of racist commentary, some very political stuff, just things you shouldn't be doing. Like it was, yeah. The first thing I saw was someone saying, "I want Conor McGregor to fuck my ass," and that was really weird. Because like, I don't know why that's what they went with of all the things that they could go with.
Right on. Right on.
That's what
I
led me.
respect somebody who knows what they want.
That's what led me to look at and be like, what the hell's going on in here? Then I clicked on it and I was like, oh my God. And I had to scramble
Or
to click away.
if you're one of those types who jumps in the mosh pit and starts throwing bows, even on.
Man, it was vile. It was real vile. They need like any sort of moderation.
What they need. They need Jesus.
They need Jesus, maybe Jesus with a gun. Give him, I got a light show. I got a light show he can have. Do some tricks with it. Yeah, it was bad. It was really bad. Probably like, I think I'm comfortable saying it's probably the worst offender I've seen in like a video game global chat in a very long time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like some real fucked up vile shit was being said.
Wait, so people all over the globe are awful?
Yeah, turns out in the global chat.
It's not just us.
Yeah, in the globe. Well, sure. Yeah. Let's just leave it at that. Let's leave it at that.
Okay.
It was bad. They need moderation in there. Anyways, the name of this game, I noticed I didn't put it up there, is And it's got a strange name, Delta Force Hawk Ops, and the meme is that people are calling it Delta Force Hawk Tua.
Tua.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because of that whole thing. But yeah, an interesting game that we'll have to see where it goes from here. This is a beta. I don't know even what they're calling this. If it's like an early access, a beta, a test. I don't know. It will be. It's an alpha test, a play test. Okay, so
There you go.
still early on. There was another one of these going. You played Mecha BREAK?
I did.
Is
Yes.
Is Mecha BREAK any good?
Mecha BREAK's a lot of fun. I had a good time with it. I'm kind of funny enough in the same boat that you are, where it's kind of like I want to see what the monetization is like, and also I unfortunately do not like the style of the style of itemization they're doing, which is called plus negative, where you put so many negatives on your equipment that you're not really gaining positives in some ways. Like the thing
What
about
does
Mecha
that
BREAK.
mean?
So item systems where when you equip something, you always get a positive and a negative.
Okay, yeah.
It's that kind of system. But the problem is that Mecha BREAK is a very large and deep game. There's lots of different stats, and they mean lots of different things to each of the different mechs. So
Hold on. What was that pilot? What the fuck was I just looking at?
oh, dude, whatever the random default was, I put long hair on him with there. Oh, it's very anime. Yeah, dude, that's a default guy with gray hair. You should see the ladies. You would love them. It's very anime.
Oh my god.
Super anime.
Okay.
That's the beardest beard
Hey,
you
how
can
you
get in
like
the
my
game.
Witcher cosplay? I'm a Witcher. Look at me. I'm a Witcher.
Cole's
That's
like, I'm gonna make Geralt. Look at me.
No, his name is Barrelt of Livia, and his and he's a great guy. He's what's called a bitcher.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
So
That's
that's where we are.
Gundam
With that.
changed me. I don't like it.
character creation.
No, but the
aside,
game
how's
itself was actually pretty fun. Yeah, game was pretty fun. It's very much mech warfare. It's Gundam style mech warfare, so very fast. Lots of different mechs. So there's like sniper mechs and guardian mechs, and it is a very frenetic, fast paced game.
Okay.
And some of the mechs really lean into that frenetic, fast paced gameplay. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for big stompy Gundam style speed robot fighting, like this is the game. The only problem is that, like I said, the itemization system, and which means the progression system, was not very interesting to me. Like it's one of those things where you just get a bunch of items, but you never know if they're really good or bad. And you don't want to sit down and spend an hour learning every stat in every system. So you're just like, ugh, whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you wait for someone else to put a build on Reddit or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's that kind of thing. And then on top of that, we're not entirely sure how the monetization is going to work in the game. And that would, of course, for a game like this, I hate to say it, but for a game like this, it doesn't matter how good the game is to me. If the monetization sucks, I'm not going to be interested.
Yeah.
So it's like in a game like this, I play it, I see if it's fun enough to play. Mecha BREAK is definitely fun enough to play, but I have no idea if I'll play it because I don't know how the monetization.
Got it. Okay.
I just wonder, like,
Also,
my brain works. Go ahead.
I was just going to say real quick, to put it bluntly, I'm not sure if I play it even if the monetization was good, because the progression system I see did not look super good. They did give you all the mechs for the playtest, but you have to unlock the mechs normally. And I just don't know if that would be enough to keep me like, I need more of like a progression. Like I'm gaining things. I'm unlocking lots of things. And if it's just the mechs and the plus minus gear, I don't know if that would be enough for me. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway,
Just looking at this, like, this is a game that I would never pick up or touch because the UI is so unfriendly. Like, it looks like it's so much on the screen, like in the middle of the screen, on the side of the screen, top of the screen. There's so much shit. And to top it all off, like,
I'm wrong.
when you get into battles, it's like flashing all over the place. Like, maybe other people's brains don't work the same as mine, but like that is just too much input.
Zeke, you're old.
No. Not only is Zeke right, but that was pretty much the main bit of feedback while I was streaming the game is this is too much.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I saw lots of people being like, this is hard to watch. I can't imagine playing this.
Jeez.
Like,
All right.
there's so much going on that they couldn't follow along what was happening. So yeah, no, Zeke is actually fine. And there were certainly parts when I was playing
to
when it was just too much.
certain games like being something I wouldn't play because I'm old. This one is because, ADHD and shit like that. It's just like, I'm having sensory overload. I can't do this.
Yeah. What is this? Are you escorting the payload here? Is that what's happening in this? Did I choose a
like
real winner of a clip?
Yeah, this is exactly like Overwatch, where if you sit on it and it's the enemies, it goes back a little bit, or if the enemy gets it, it goes forward fast. There's one for each team.
5v5, is that the setup?
Yes, 5v5.
Okay. Are there?
And it's technically not a hero shooter, since you have a character and then you pick your mech, but the mechs are essentially heroes.
Are there different like archetypes? Like, is there a healer? Like,
yeah, there's support.
Okay.
There's like support, brawler. There's like they have heavy variants as well. So there's like heavy brawler, versatile brawler, stuff like that. There's like melee, range, and then support focused stuff.
Huh.
And then a lot are versatile, so they kind of have both. Do both.
The time to kill seems pretty quick, or at least you killed that guy very quickly.
It can be. It depends on what you're doing.
Okay.
So, and it depends on who you're fighting as well. Some mechs are very beefy. They're designed to be. So some are hard to take down.
Like, how granular is the mech building? Do you choose like the mech, or can you go and
you choose the mech
change
itself.
all of that shit?
Now, this is where it gets a little interesting, because you choose the mech itself, and right now all the mechs come with just one weapon or one or two weapons. But there is like a weapon section in the UI, and if you go into it, you can like click your main and support weapons, and that opens up menus that look like they should have more selections in them, but don't. So I will say this game would get a lot more interesting if you were also unlocking weapons that you could then like mix and match on different mechs.
Sure.
I don't know if that's the plan, but that would be awesome and definitely make this a lot more interesting than it is.
Yeah.
But as of now, no. As of now, every mech, you unlock the mechs with experience that you gain in the game. And when you unlock the mech, it comes with all its equipment already.
This mech's got a dumpy. What the hell's going on?
This mech is, this mech was actually very cool. I'm trying to remember. I remember playing this guy, but I
Did
don't
you
remember
choose
what his
this
name
paint
was.
style?
Yeah. You can paint them all the
Okay.
different colors that you want. So I like red, white, and black mine, like I always do.
Yeah.
Because I'm lame and unoriginal. But it's I can't remember if this was one of the mechs was really cool because this is the deployment mech. So this mech you could deploy into like a little locked position that he
shit.
would then like firing missiles and all sorts of extra stuff, and one of his cooldowns would come back really quick. He also had like some cool defensive skills as well. So this is like the turret mech. Is a good way to think of it.
Huh.
But there's like a plane mech that can turn into a plane. There's a bunch of melee mechs. There's mechs that like lock on with missiles. There's sniper mechs. There's healing mechs. There's like, I want to say like 10 to 15 different mechs. They all are very wildly different in how they play.
You get a badass like sword mech, like huge two-handed. Okay, all right.
There's a big smashy mech too.
Like a hammer type deal.
I want to say it was like a hammer thing.
Axe or hammer. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is doing the same drop thing, right? Like to get access to it, where you have to.
I knew there was a drop program. I wasn't sure what the drop program was.
Okay.
I just knew there was drops. So, but I will say I'm in total agreement with everything you said about those
Sure.
key programs. Those are just they're very poorly designed.
Yeah. They got to stop doing that.
Have to stop doing it.
And this is also, God, every time I see your pilot is crazy.
So good, dude. Barreld's the man.
I want to. Do you have? Is this the mech customization? Oh, that guy looks cool. How involved is the character creation?
It's pretty good, but I mean,
that
it's
looks sick.
if you look at the very beginning, I kind of just blitzed through it.
Someone said there's
it
a
was
butt
good.
slider, which that's awesome.
Yep. Mhm. I believe there's a butt slider
Oh boy.
for all you butt enthusiasts out there.
Yeah.
Butts are great. I'm a big butt enthusiast myself.
I think didn't Julia do a character for this? We could just pull that up. Julia does characters for all of it.
Oh God,
She doesn't even
careful.
like play the game. She just opens it up. I'm gonna make
Careful
a
with
character.
Julia characters. Yeah, gotta be
Let's
real
see.
careful.
Let's see if she did one. That's like her Twitter is just I made characters in this game, and this is how bad it looks. Oh my
Horrifying.
God.
That's the normal reaction to a Julia character, I would say.
Yeah,
There you go. Yep.
that's
That checks out. Is what I think they say. Yep, that checks out.
a Julia character.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus.
You love to see it. Well, you actually hate to.
It looks
you know
like
what I
it looks like a character from like Little Nightmares or something.
Yeah.
mean. You hate to see it. There you go.
Oh wait, no,
That
wait.
fits.
That was her second character. This is her first character. I think she zooms out in this video.
That poor woman.
Oh my God.
How shapely.
Now that's a mecha
like,
pilot.
like the unibrow. Jesus.
Good
I don't like
Lord.
to throw around the term butterface, but when it's appropriate, you know.
That's a thing. That's Mecha BREAK. if you want to play it, is that still? Do you know when that ends? Is it? It's like
I don't know.
They're all these games are like a week long or something like that. In terms of the alpha.
I'm on the Steam page right now, and it still has a request access button. So.
Oh, okay. What happens when you hit that?
Whatever that means.
See what happens when you request access, Zeke. See if it lets you in immediately.
Okay.
Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. I would reckon it won't.
You'll receive an email.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
That makes sense. That would make sense. Zeke.
Yes, sir.
What you been playing this past week? What have you been up to?
I have been playing a few games actually. As you may remember, I'm doing my games I never beat kind of volumes, and I added another one that I can now say that I've beaten.
Ooh.
Blaster Master for the NES.
Nice.
And as far as like the games I've beaten, of which there are 6 now, Ninja Gaiden, Castlevania 1 and 2, Kid Icarus, and TMNT, and Blaster Master. Blaster Master was the biggest bitch, honestly.
Yeah.
It really was, because it's like it's because of hitboxes. That's all it is. It'd be hitboxes or hurtboxes, whatever you want to call them. Like, they just fuck you so bad in this game. It's like your little like grenade or bullet or whatever. The hitbox is like 1 pixel wide, and the animation is this big, and it's crazy. Like, why did we put up with this? Because there was nothing else. Right, I remember now.
We didn't know any better.
Also, you have to like beat it in one sitting, unless you want to like, you know. I mean, well, you have to beat it in one sitting, unless you want to leave your Nintendo on.
Right.
You know, so you have to like go through it, learn it, go through it, learn it, go through it, learn it. It took me longer than most of the other games, because that was the bitch of it. Was you get so many continues, and then it's fucking title screen. That's why people played on the Famicom, because Famicom had unlimited continues, from what I gather.
Oh.
And then the US NES version did not. It had 3 continues, and that was it. So if you died, 9 times, that was it. You're done.
They made it harder for you.
You start at the very beginning again. Thankfully, you get like more, it's like a roguelike. You get more information as you go, like, okay, I know how to do this, I know how to do this. Every time, but like every time you got to get back to that spot again that you fucked up. So, but I eventually did it, so that was nice to get that scratched off the list. And there's been so much fun. I'll be honest with you, like so much fun to like go back and like make good on the promise of 12 and 13-year-old me.
Yeah.
I mean, even younger than that, actually, in some cases, like 9 and 10-year-old me.
I think
like,
just in general.
You rented this game so many fucking times. You rented it so many times, and you never fucking beat it. You love the Ninja Turtles. Blaster Master was awesome until it wasn't. Like all of these games, and then you go back as like a 44-year-old man, like, I beat that shit. And me like high-fiving Ghost me at 9, like, psh.
Yeah. I'm sure there's an actual like scientific term for it. But there's something about, just as a streamer, and I think this could even exceed just anyone that plays games, finishing a game in general, like, activates some neuron to where you're just like, fuck yeah, I can move on I can do other stuff now. Like, I'm ready for other shit. Because like,
it's a release.
Yeah, I guess it's like a release. Yeah, like you putting something away and not finishing it is like, can be damaging, especially if it's something that you care a lot about.
Invested.
If you're invested and you can't finish it. Yeah.
Oh, and I'm a chronic unfinisher.
Yeah.
Like,
I think a lot of streamers are. Just in
Okay.
general.
Like all of my life, I would get to like final bosses and final areas and never finish it. And some of it, I'm sure, was psychological. Like I didn't want the game to end, or it was too much bullshit. And I just like the last time I tried it was the last time I ever was gonna try it.
Yeah.
And that just happens. But to have that and then go back and like actually accomplish it, it is a really cool feeling. And especially like these like games that have so many things going for them. Like Blaster Master soundtrack is, I forgot how good it is. It is one of the best NES soundtracks,
It's banging.
if not the best. Like
Yeah.
it's close. Just really good music throughout the entire game. Like usually, like I've been playing. Like the next game is Dragon Warrior. The first JRPG. Like a lot of us played, maybe the first ever.
Yeah.
And the music gets fucking old so fast.
Yeah.
Blastmaster never really did. It was great. Like every new place had a new song, and they were all bangers for the most part. And yeah, but sometimes they just miss the mark. And Dragon Warrior, holy shit, it missed the mark. Like beep boop beep beep boop beep boop. You're like, God, shut up, just shut up.
I was looking through your playlist here of broadcast. You guys both played Atlas Fallen as well. This is the expansion for Atlas Fallen?
No. Well, yes. Okay, so there's a free DLC that they recently put out there. But here's kind of the situation with Atlas Fallen. So Deck 13, makers of the Surge, they made this game, and this game is doing some interesting things. Got an pretty interesting world. But when it came out, there were some definite voice acting / casting issues.
Okay.
There were some bugs, there was some weird optimization stuff, and most importantly, the combat, like, it just had some really weird feelings to it. The itemization and the progression had weird feelings to it. It looked like it was very unpolished and very janky. And when I ended my first sponsored stream of this game that I did over about a year ago, I definitely was like, I love Deck 13, but I don't think I'm going to be continuing this game. There's just too many things about it that I'm a little hesitant on, and I didn't continue it. So what they've been doing is for the last year, they've essentially been trying to, as in their own words, they've been trying to raise the mixed rating that the game received. And they agree,
Yep.
they're like, understandably. And they have like recast and redone a lot of the initial voice acting. They completely redid the entire new beginning player experience. They've added a ton of more like interesting things to do and builds to get early in the game. They changed some of the combat system. They changed a huge amount of things. And to put it bluntly, it is remarkably better than it was when the game came out years ago.
A year
ago.
Yeah.
Exactly. Just about exactly a year ago.
Yeah.
The unfortunate follow-up to that is the game better now for me to play it? And the answer is unfortunately no. And it's because of one pretty big design decision that they made. But I will say that it is in a hugely better state than when the game released a year ago. If this game had released a year ago, I think that it would still have some of the valid criticism of it that it has, but it would have been a completely different release experience. The game released in a state where a lot of people were like, wow, I don't want to play this. I mean, now that the 2 hours I spent in the new version, it feels completely different. It feels like a much better, more cogent experience.
Cool.
That was good.
And
I will say this.
I
last
echo
thing I'll
that.
add.
And go ahead.
Oh, I'm just going to say, last thing I'm going to add while I'm still talking about my own thing. The big thing I cannot get over, though, is for some reason, this game does so many things super cool, but they have done something with the timing of the combat. And what I mean by that is the whole game feels like you're playing in this weird startup, slow down kind of combat. And I really dislike it. It completely throws off the whole pacing of the combat for me. And so much of the game screams kind of like Souls-like or action game that I just can't get on board with the combat. Like I'm just not. I feel like if they just didn't put in the startup and slow down weird time shifting that they do in the combat, that I'd probably like this game a lot more. Like a lot more. But the way that they do it now, it's just combat feels slow and clunky, and it's not because it's poorly designed. It's just because they're these like intentional startups and slowdowns that are put into the pacing that just don't feel good, in my opinion.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah. It is. It's really unfortunate.
Yeah.
I never played the before the new update, so I don't know like how much better it is, but I honestly personally had a very good experience with the combat. It didn't experience the same things that Cohh did. Maybe it's maybe it's due to how I play games or whatever. I'm kind of a masher, and a lot less technical than than most people. But it actually felt good. Like, and there's like special moves that like do this big hammer smash and stuff like that. I always felt very satisfying when you could pull that off. The thing that I really liked about it, honestly, was how user friendly it was and how quickly you jump into co-op. Like it's easy. You can just jump in on somebody else's game.
The co-op was seamless.
Yeah. And it's super quick. I think we spent 10 minutes in a tutorial and then we could play co-op.
Yeah, and the co-op was super easy. And get this. So I started my character, didn't do anything, and then I think Zeke, and then I joined Zeke's game. Me and Zeke then played together for 2 hours, had a fine time, could easily find each other, no issues at all. When the game ended, the game asked me, okay, you just played for 2 hours with your buddy. Do you want to, 1, save all of the loot and character data, but keep your own quest data? Or 2, do you want to save your character and the state of the world so when you go play solo, you can pick up exactly where you left off?
That's cool.
And I was like, damn, that is hot.
Yeah, that should be a standard in a lot of ways. That should be how it's always done.
That's freaking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty fantastic.
Yeah. That's good stuff. It is a very pretty looking game, I have to say. At least this footage is quite good looking.
Yeah. And it is very pretty. Music is good. Also, I'm a huge, like you've heard me talk about locomotion, like getting around quick. They add like you get a sand slide right away, which is basically like, you just slide on your feet on the sand. It's like it sounds.
Yeah.
You go pretty fast. And also like some of the first upgrades you get from like doing the main quest is like double jump, dash, like that kind of shit. So it's like they know, big open world, let me get around in it.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Cool. Short and sweet. That's Atlas Fallen. And that, by the way, the other thing, completely free. That update is you don't buy anything. You just download it and it's there, right?
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Yep. It is as far as I know, it is a free update for anyone who owns the game.
Okay. Cool. Yep. Fantastic. What else? We never talked about PoE, the new season. Funny enough, this is maybe the longest I've played Path of Exile since like 3.0. Like I was playing last night. I haven't played Path of Exile for that long in 6 or 7 years. The current league is just an absolute absolute dream. I've maxed out my city, my town. It's all it's all level 11. I'm sending boats out. I'm sending people to map. I'm still on my same build. I'm level 97. That's the highest I've ever been on a single character. I might go for level 100. The issue though is that I think it's 1 to 97 is the same as 97 to 100 in terms of leveling time. So being that I've put in 97 hours or maybe 100 hours of game time at this point, I don't know if I want to go for another 100 plus hours at my pace to hit level 100. But it's good. I really like this season. The game feels... it's in a really good spot. Melee's super fun. I love all the mechanics. I've gotten very lucky this league. That's definitely benefited, but like I haven't had any tweets. Yeah, I haven't had like any big drops apart from those two things. And even then, like the dopamine hit is still there when you send ships out, because every 30 minutes or 2 hours,
a giant loot box.
You get a giant fucking loot box and you're like, ooh, I got 2 pages of loot to look at. Let's see what's in here. And so that keeps the like dopamine thing. And then the biggest thing, and probably the number one reason why I think this is from a player retention statistical point of view, they're highest in I think of all time, they still have like 130, 140,000 people playing as of yesterday. That in-game currency thing is phenomenal.
Huge.
It is. I cannot state how fucking incredible it is. Just to be like, oh, I need to make 30 chaos. Give me less than a minute, and I'm just gonna go trade these random things that I have in my inventory and be done with it. Like that is, it's so stupid how simple that is to say.
So for those of us in
and
the
that
dark,
never
can
occurred
you, like,
in the past.
TLDR it? Like, what's the change from what it used to be and what it is now?
What it used to be would be that I would have to message 100+ people that never responded to me to get currency for what I was just saying. And now I walk over to an NPC, say that I put in 2 items. I look at the exchange rate that the market is going for, which is a real-time number that's constantly changing. And I say, yeah, I'll take that essence for this many chaos. Click, here's your chaos. And I just do that 4 times and I'm done. And like it's a game changer. Like it really, it's a night
So they
and
took
day
it
difference.
out of game and put it in game. Like,
You could still do both. And funny
wow,
enough, the player trading tends to be better exchange rates because it is a little bit more like involved time-wise. So if you just want to be done with it immediately, you can use the in-game thing. At least when I was like super, super crazy in terms of playing 16 hours a day, the exchange rates were a little bit off. I don't know if they're 1-to-1 yet, if they've like normalized, but yeah, it's great. I'm shocked that I'm still playing Path of Exile. When did that launch? Was that the 2nd? When did that league start? Was that on the 26th? That's crazy. If I'm 4 weeks out, 3.5 weeks out, and I'm still playing PoE.
I think it's been a couple weeks.
It's been 3. Yeah, it was the 26th.
Yeah.
That's unheard of. I need to maybe stop so that when the next league starts, I'm ready to play more PoE, so I don't get burnt out. But we'll see. It's still a good time, and I can still like.
How often are leagues? Like every 3 months?
It's I think it's every 13 weeks now. It's a little bit more than every 3 months. They put a little bit more time into the development period for that. But yeah. A lot of people are still waiting on PoE 2. If you have any desire or itch to play PoE, it's in a really good spot right now. They did a
arguably best league since I've been playing.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a great idea.
I would say
So
it's for me. There's no argument. It is definitively the best league since I have played the game, and I've been playing. I'm still what you would call like a noob since I started at 3.0. Me and Cohh both kind of did at 3.0. Around then, and it's absolutely phenomenal. It's in a good place. Melee buffs were great, a lot of viable builds, running fantastic. It's really weird to play that game and not just have like super cynical conversations amongst the community, and everyone's just like, yeah, this is pretty good. This is a pretty fun.
This is pretty great.
Yeah. I think the worst thing that people would say about the league right now is that gold costs are too high to do stuff. The like the final town upgrade is 100,000 gold for just the main town upgrade. And that's a lot. I mean, that's a good chunk of investment. You get around, if you're doing like juice tier 16 maps, you can get around like 10 or 11,000 per. So it's pretty good. But yeah, PoE's in a good spot. Funny enough, I haven't played it yet. I might actually play it today. That Diablo League is also in a good spot.
Been hearing a lot of good things about it, actually.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying this is a really good league. It's also a shorter league. Instead of a 4-month league, it's a 2-month league because it's leading into the expansion. Yeah. So I might jump into that just to see it. Leveling's a very fast process now. All the classes are apparently really good in it. So we'll see. We'll see. And then the last thing, we'll give a quick update here. I don't want to spend too much time on 2XKO because I want to talk to Maximilian, dude. I actually just talked with Max. There's a time zone issue. He's going to be on in 2 weeks. We already rescheduled, so we'll get him on here to talk about all the stuff. I think that'll be the 25th. I'll get everything sorted out afterwards.
Is that Zeke's not going to be here that week?
Yeah, Zeke won't be here this week. That is also 2 weeks from now. I could try to finish Rebirth before then if we wanted to maybe talk about that.
Yeah, dude. Did he finish it?
Now, JP,
yeah.
I have to warn you here. We're quickly working on the reverse principle.
What's that?
So every day that goes away from my playthrough, I am forgetting palpably more of the game. I might not even remember there's a second Final Fantasy.
There is
by
a
the time we
chance
get-
for that. There is a chance for that.
Yeah, I'm like 90% sure I played it.
Look,
at
you
this
might
point.
forget the game, but if I play Rebirth Cohh, Twitch might just delete my channel.
a good
Funny
point.
enough, like no one will
True.
actually.
No one wants to watch it.
No one
Nobody.
wants to watch.
No one. Not a single person.
So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Zeke will be out that week, but yeah, we'll bring Max on regardless to talk about fighting games and stuff like that. I have been playing 2XKO.
I really want to hear about that.
It is man, it's a weird game. And it's
Really?
it's a weird game. We're gonna have to like the conversation can only go as far as I can take it because I need Max to like bring it home in a sense as like the FGC guy.
You need a closer.
Yeah, I need a closer. It's I think the idea of 2XKO for so many people was like it was going to be the fighting game that anyone could pick up and play.
Yep, I remember us specifically talking about.
Yeah,
that.
and it was going to
easier
be
for
like,
play.
you know, the entry level fighting game. And I think that is true to an extent. And that extent is the second you play anyone that knows what they're doing, you're going to have a bad time.
So in other words, it works, except it doesn't work at all.
Like, okay, so let me go into a little bit more about what that means.
Okay.
Well, before that, just topical. I have to say, their lobby system, which is what you're looking at right now, fantastic because you can walk up
Heard
to
about this.
any machine and it immediately starts showing you the game that's happening, and it puts it on a massive screen like
That's
what
freaking
you're seeing.
awesome.
And that is some like next level stuff. That's some next gen shit. To just be able to walk up to a lobby and just have it pop up the match, and you can just spectate the match live. And you can even like join in and get queued up in that match. Yeah.
The thing that's wild about a system like this is it makes you realize that like if this game takes off and gets popular, then there are going to be players who log in and just start people just start following them around like they used to in arcades when we grew up.
Totally.
Where like if the right people would walk into the arcade, then all people would be like, "Oh God, it's that game, or it's that guy, it's that gamer," and like you just start seeing a crowd start forming around them. That's what's going to happen in this game. And that's awesome.
Yeah. I
That
mean,
is so cool.
I don't know the technical limitations of it, but if they have the ability to broadcast tournaments live as they're happening in this stuff, and you
They'd
can
crash their lobbies.
well, they would probably have an issue with servers. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah,
But
yeah,
it would be
absolutely.
awesome to be able to watch this with a bunch of other people just hanging out. And
It was even cooler is like you actually see the other people watching, right? With their little custom avatars and
Yep.
everything. So if there was a whole bunch of people, it'd be like you'd see their names and their avatars and everything. Like, yeah, that's fun.
yeah.
It's real fun.
So the lobby system, 10 out of 10. I didn't have issues. I could connect the games. I could play games. I had a great time. I had a great time playing the game. Let me just like preface it with that.
And now for the bad stuff.
Well,
Here we
the issue is that the second, so like I would watch, and this happened to Strippin as well, who we've been playing a lot. Nice. Twitch was like, no more VOD for you.
No more VOD.
It started over. We've been playing a lot together and talking about the game a lot. The second that you watch anyone who's actually good at this game,
It's like they're playing a different game.
it's like they're playing a different game. The auto combos in this game are like good, right? And so like you can get anyone that's watching this can get a game, get a fight stick or controller or even a keyboard, because there's no input motions. There's no like SRKs. There's no like quarter circle back, any of that. It's just you press the button and something happens, right? You press punch and you punch. You press special, you do the special move. You press special 2, you do your special 2, which is really interesting, right? The issue, though, is every single time you add a direction to that, it's a new move. So you have 5 buttons with 4 things. Like, I don't even know how many moves there are. There's an entire tag system where
Does that also work on diagonals?
I don't know, actually. That's a good question. Okay. Maybe.
My Lord.
I know like if you're down back, then it does like a on certain characters it will do like a chat saying no. Okay, we'll just say no. Down back is block though, block low. And back is just block. Okay. But there's a lot of things happening, and from a viewer perspective, the screen can get incredibly busy, like Marvel vs. Capcom levels of busy. And so a lot of times, even when I was playing, especially if it was a mirror match, granted, I'm not a good fighting game player, but I would still be like, where the fuck am I on the screen? Like, where is my character and what am I doing right now? like, what is going on at this particular
I feel like if you're thinking that at all during a fighting game, you've lost that fighting game.
Yeah.
If you're playing someone that knows what they're doing, or at least knows where their character is.
Yeah, it just needs to like pop a little more, or I don't know. It's involved. And so that conversation of, is this game too complex to be welcoming for new players, is dominating the FGC right now. That is like the biggest conversation around this game, is like, is this approachable? And that's where I think we need like Maximilian. I would really love to have his opinion on that, because I think he has one. He's definitely stated versions of it on Twitter, and I would love to have that conversation, because I can't really answer it. I can answer it from my point of view, and that's getting into the game and pressing a punch button 4 times and seeing cool shit happen feels really, really good. But then getting against
banking on for new players,
yeah, getting against someone that knows what they're doing and basically like losing 60% HP because I got hit a single time, and the combo strings in this game can go like crazy. There's things called TODs, which are touch of deaths. So if you get hit once, your character is dead. That's not necessarily, Riot actually posted something and said like, we don't want these in the game. We understand that these exist. We don't want them in the game. So they're going to go back and like change some of that. There's a post last night where I think they were talking about damage is actually quite high in the current alpha test that they're running. So they're going to scale that back. But
are they wanting TTK to be lower than it is currently?
I don't know. Maybe. Rounds can go pretty long. The current round timer is 120 seconds. Because you have to get through 2 HP bars, essentially, and you can tag out and regen and all that stuff. But yeah, ultimately, did I have fun? The game's a blast to play. I think it looks gorgeous, even if it is very chaotic. The characters that are in it are awesome to play. They feel really great. People seem like generally excited to play it and still want to play it and all that stuff. But it's just the conversation of like, I think they have to find a happy place, a middle ground for, someone like me who's nowhere near, I wouldn't even say that I'm even, I'm on like the threshold of good, if that makes sense. And
you can see good from where you're standing.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. Yeah. I can understand enough to recognize a good player. Let's go with that. I think that's.
I was gonna say we're also talking about somebody who had literally one-on-one training with an amazing fighting game guy.
Sure.
Like, I would say that you represent a well above average normal player.
Maybe, yeah.
So that being said, the fact that you're having these issues is, I would say, should be scaring the pants off casuals. Like people who were wanting for this to be that casual game that Bright was kind of selling it as. It sounds like with what happened is they designed the system with the intention of having it be much more usable for a less experienced audience. But then during the course of design, they kind of panicked a bit maybe and thought, well, this isn't going to be deep enough for actual FG fans. So then they actually like made the system deceptively more deep than it seems.
I don't know.
Maybe the idea is to trick the casual.
I don't know. I'm going to take some footage from Sonic Fox's stream here. They are very good at the game, and you can tell right out of the bat that here's a combo string. Like, you can see how much HP they're taking from that character just because they hit them once. Combo's still going. That character's dead. Like, it's crazy watching people play this game that know what they're doing compared to just normal people, which is true for any fighting game. But
it looks slow.
In this, that might just be the character. Like, Echo right here is pretty fast. But look at all the shit that's happening.
That's true, but I'm talking about like when they're floating through the air and stuff.
Oh yeah, there's a little bit. Yeah. Want a clip of? Oh, is this diaphone?
This part is obviously lightning fast. The combos and stuff are crazy.
Yeah, and like that's the other thing is they're not using the. There's a system called Link Mode, or sorry, is it Fuse? I think is the name. You can choose what fuse you want in the game, and so that even makes it more complicated. So you can have the auto combo fuse, or you can have the freestyle fuse, or you can have the fury fuse, and that's like if you have 40% or less HP, you do X more damage. There's like 5 or 6 of those, and those will also come into like how you play, what style you bring into the. He's using the double assist fuse. Oh, so that means the double assist fuse means you can have your second character come in twice in one combo string, I believe.
Oh, okay.
So it like
sounds good.
Like, look at the HP that he just did with this combo. 32 hit. And like that was 70% of his bar. So I really want to know from the devs how they look at all this and what changes. I think that's probably going to be the biggest tell from this game in terms of how they respond. And that'll kind of shape what happens. I'm in regardless. I think, I had a blast. The fact that you can have 2 people fight against 1 person in the same thing, like it's basically the same game. Like that is a really cool aspect of it. So that like me and Strippin, for example, could fight Justin Wong, who's playing both characters, and he'd probably still beat our ass. There's not really going to be a benefit.
There's not. Yeah, I was going to say
to that.
Just lack of communication between the 2 characters.
Yeah. And watching a lot of the Sonic Fox was playing with it was him and Sajam, Apology Man, who I think works on 2XKO. If not, he's a very good player himself. And someone else, maybe a Riot dev. They were doing 2v2 the other night, and it was wildly fun to watch. But good luck doing anything that they were doing in those games as a casual player. You're just going to get fucking destroyed on any level. Apology Man worked on the game. Okay, yeah. And so, unfortunately, that's kind of where like the discussion's going to stop for me, because that's my knowledge of the game. It's where we need a Maximilian dude to jump in, and probably where he will jump in when we have him on the show to talk about. I still think the game is going to be huge just because League of Legends as an IP has a massive worldwide fan base. But given all of the conversation, and it's free to play, that's a great, it's free to play. That's massive. I don't know what it looks like though, 6 months after it's out. If it's going to be mostly fighting game people, if it's going to be a whole new, entrance into that world, or how it's going to go down.
Remind me how did they make money from skins
Yes.
or
Yeah.
stuff like that, cosmetic
yep.
stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a battle
Very
pass.
supportive community.
Yeah, battle pass and
Okay.
skins.
Okay.
And League and Valorant both make fucking stupid money.
Sure.
Valorant. The other thing too is pricing, which there's nothing to buy right now in the game, so I'm kind of curious how they're going to handle skins because Valorant skins are fucking expensive. You can buy like a knife for like $50 in Valorant, and that's like the base price.
50?
Yeah, 50.
Wow.
Their guns, their skins in Valorant are very expensive. And the community doesn't push back against that. It's actually accepted, and like there's a lot of hype around new skin releases. They're pretty frequent when it comes to updating it.
What is the community agreed on name of this game, by the way? Do we have one yet?
I think
Tuco?
most people are calling it 2X. I think
2X.
they're just saying 2X.
Really?
Yeah.
I still vote for Coco. I think it should be called Coco.
I still think the name's dog shit. At the end of the day, I don't.
Oh God, I thought you were like,
No,
you
no,
should
not-
name it dog shit. I
No,
was like,
no,
damn.
no.
Wow.
I don't.
I'd still at the end of the day think the name is dog shit.
You know, it's wild. So I was trying to VPN because me and Strippin cannot play with each other right now because it is region based or something like that.
Region locked,
Yeah, region locked. And so I was trying to VPN to see if I could get on European servers. And in order to do that, I had to find the executable name so that I could apply the VPN just to that executable. And so I was looking for 2XKO. The executable name for the game is lion.exe because that was the code name for the game, Project L, Project Lion. I still think that's a better name. Like,
Much better name. They should have just called it Project Lion. That would have been
does-
that would have been a better name.
yeah. Yeah. It doesn't like have I don't think there's any like League of Legends tie-in to call it that. I don't know why they settled on Lion or Project L or where that came from. But neither does 2XKO, so that point is kind of moot,
Yeah.
I guess. Legends League.
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
I think you could have just gone just a simple route and call it League of Legend Fighters or something like that.
Yeah.
And then LOL F would be like the go-to, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Here's a popular clip just to show the craziness of the game. Let me see if I can understand what's happening. Okay, I've seen that combo string. Okay, so he just called in Braum. And then
As
he
you do.
did an assist. And that killed. Okay, that's pretty... I mean, that is pretty tricky. I can understand what's happening, but it's not easy to do by any stretch of the imagination. But the number
Dude, it
one...
looked like that motherfucker was using geometry, like the angles of the attacks and shit.
Yeah.
Damn.
The one thing I can
Trigonometry.
say, is that it is not a good feeling when you get hit and get stuck in a combo string like this and die. That
So, wait a second.
sucks.
Isn't one thing that kind of like Street Fighter's really known for is like the tech moves and being able to like do things while being comboed to have some kind of out? Is there nothing like that in Tuco?
There is. Tuco, is that what you're going?
Calling it Tuco.
You see the green bar below the 2 HP bars at the top, closest to the timer?
I just realized there's like 5 bars on the screen.
Yeah, there's a lot of fucking things to keep
That's a
track
lot of bars.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay.
There is. The short
I
answer
see the little
is
green
there,
bar
yes.
at the top. Yes.
Yeah. When that's up, you can basically like burst the equivalent from Guilty Gear and break a combo.
But if
Right.
that is down, then you are just screwed.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
Hmm.
And there's other things in terms of like getting up. You can do like I don't know the in-game term, but you can basically like say, get the fuck off me, and it'll bounce, bounce someone off of you. So if you're in a corner or something like that, use a little bit of meter so that they get off of you.
I believe it's called a wake-up rejection.
There you go. Yeah. Push block. Yeah, exactly.
Of course, it would be Zeke.
There's just again, it all comes down to like, is it not accessible for, someone never playing the game to jump in? Yes and no, because you don't need to know any of that if you just want to press a button 5 times and see a cool combo happen in front of you. The game does that very well right now with the link. It's the second that you step outside of that where you're going to be like, holy fuck. Like, this is a lot. There's a lot going on in this game. And so I really want to talk to Max. And honestly, by then, the conversation is kind of just starting that I've seen amongst kind of all the different pros and FGC community members on Twitter that by then, maybe some more revelations will occur. And I'm sure Riot will have, we've been watching the same clip like 4 times now. I'm sure Riot will have things to say. They've been pretty vocal, which is also a cool thing to see that like they are very vocal about this game and kind of where they want to take it. It's good to see that. It means they care. It means they want to make the best game possible for both them as a company, but also for the community. And I'm enjoying that. But yeah. Oh, Max Dudes in my channel says, I'm mad late, but yeah, even a year ago, the game felt aggressively unfriendly to new players. Yeah. So
Aggressively unfriendly. I like that.
they added a ton of new player friendly stuff, but it's still a very aggressive game. Got it. I agree with that. We'll see where it goes. It's still pretty early. Game doesn't come out till 2025. I'm sure they're gonna do more tests. I say that though, and it's already August. Like we've only got 4 more months of this fucking year, which is a little wild to think about. So, yeah. Anyways, that's 2XKO. Is there anything else?
I did want to talk about a game that I'm playing it was for a 100-month sub game.
Sure.
But just wanted to spend 5 minutes and tell you guys, like, I can't believe I fucking missed this game. Except for the fact that I didn't have a GameCube. But this game is fucking awesome. And I like it, personally, I like it better than most of the first Resident Evil games. Eternal Darkness.
Oh, yeah.
I've been playing that. Holy
great.
shit, what a good game. I had a blast. I played it for one stream. I'm like, God damn, this game is really, really good. And it's really innovative for the time that it was. And I don't know that there's a game that even now, like recently, in the past decade, that's done anything like this with the insanity kind of thing. Like making you like your descent into madness, making it so visceral and so like, upfront and like in meta in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
It's super good. And I've been having a blast playing it. And someone, it was for RH Omicron, their 100-month sub. And I remember when it came out, my buddy had a GameCube and he called me over. He's like, dude, you gotta check this game out. And I was like, all right. So I watched him play it for like an hour or two or whatever. I was like, wow, this game is pretty cool. And then never played it, forgot completely about it until he suggested me play this. And I was like, okay, let's see how it is. And it's fucking good.
Yeah.
Now, granted, you are playing on, the GameCube controller. The controls are not like super crisp. They're a little, slower, you feel like you're walking in molasses a little bit sometimes. But the story is phenomenal. The voice acting is great. The music is great. The immersion, some of the best immersion of any game that I've played. It's just, I can't say enough nice things about it. And I am so sad. Like, as I was playing it, people were like talking about how it was supposed to have a sequel so many times. People like try to kickstart it and all this kind of shit. Now it's like never going to happen or something. Like, it makes me very sad because this game is special. It's like, really, really good and fun. And I hope it someday gets out of that sort of development hell at some point and maybe have a sequel. Because like some of the shit, if you've never heard of this game, the main mechanic that people remember, and for good reason, is there's a sanity meter. And it's represented by like a green bar. Like your health is red, your magic is blue, and your sanity is green. And the lower your sanity meter gets, the more insane things happen to you while you're playing. And that can take, and they spend a lot of time like making it a lot of different forms. Like one of them is bugs. Like there will be like a bug like crawling across the screen. And then there will be like 3 bugs like crawling across, like flies or whatever, insects, just crawling across the screen to make it look like they're on your fucking monitor.
Wow.
I mean, it doesn't translate one to one
brilliant.
because it was made for CRTs.
Yeah.
But like it's still really cool. And some of the insanity shit still like got me in that I was playing the game. I didn't realize my insanity meter was low. And the game said like shut off after a certain part, and it said Eternal Darkness to be continued. And I was like, oh, is there? And I honestly was like gonna go to the box and see if there was a fucking disc 2 or something like that. And I was like, my first instinct was that because I play a lot of CD-ROM games, so I'm like, oh, got to insert disc 2. So I was like almost looking for my box, and then it came back to the game. I was like, oh fuck, that was a good one. Like shit like that just happens throughout the game.
Yeah.
When your insanity meter goes low. So like a lot of the time I was like,
That's brilliant, dude. Like that's
my
I
sanity
can't even think of another
meter
game
is
that has
pretty
that.
low, but and they give you the means to like fill it back up with like spells or whatever. And I chose not to because I'm like, I want to see what they come up with next. And it's good shit. It's really good shit. Like sometimes you'll be standing there like running down a hallway, and then your fucking head and arms will just pop off bloody, just and you'll be like, what the fuck just happened? What did I step on? And then it goes and it flashes back, and you're right where you were before. You're like, oh, dude. Yeah.
Nice.
It's really, really fun. And I'm continuing it. I didn't finish it. I will be continuing it on Tuesday if you want to come check it out.
Did I'm not gonna say then. Never mind. I was gonna ask you if you saw something, but I don't want to spoil it for you if you haven't seen it. And I don't know when it takes. I don't know when it takes place in the game, so I'm just gonna like. I'll wait till you finish it.
That is super
okay.
considerate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other
Thank
thing.
you. Yes, thank you.
The other thing is this was a Silicon Knights game, which Dennis Dyack was the big name attached to it. Dennis Dyack has some history in the video game world. It's interesting.
I need to make sure I remember that. Oh yes,
Dennis Dyack was he had a lot of stuff I guess around him, but also he did
like
Too Human
stuff, and Too Human, yeah.
yeah, Too Human was
Which I
also a
love.
game. Too Human was a very
I
interesting game.
Loved Too Human.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a very interesting game. Yeah, he was.
What system was that for?
Too Human was
Human?
360. I
Yeah, it was an old console. Yep.
think it was 360.
That
it was
sounds so
freaking
familiar.
awesome. The thing about Too Human that was so cool is it was the control method to this day is still so interesting. It
Yeah.
was dual stick, but it was a melee game that was dual stick, but how you did the dual stick in perspective of your target dictated your moves. So like if you did both of the dual sticks towards the enemy, your character would like slide over to him if he had the right stuff. And if you did it like dual stick away from the enemy, he would do a different move, and then like opposite directions. And it was all based on where the enemy was in relation to you. So has there been a game since Too Human that did that control scheme? I don't know.
It was
Like,
pretty
never really took off.
polarizing. Like that.
Yeah.
You either hated it or loved it.
I thought it was super cool myself.
I hated it at first, and then I was like, all right, this game's actually a shit ton of fun. Like I came around. It was one of the first few games where there was like a benefit to leveling a second character, I think, once you hit max level in that game. I forget how the systems worked in it, but there was something that was going on there. Like maybe it wouldn't drop legendary items unless you were 50. I don't know.
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's
been a long time.
It's been over a decade since I played.
I'd love for them to make a Too Human too, though.
Is
It's a funny
Dyack
name to
even
say, but-
like what is he like? Went off the
Currently,
deep
he is
end.
making a new game. So I actually Googled it, and currently he is working on a game. I don't know how old this is, but apparently a narrative-driven action RPG when you play the undead fighting the living.
Huh?
Dead House Sonata. I don't know if that's still accurate or if it's still in production, but let me see if I can find the info on this. Oh, yeah. Oh, look at that. There's gameplay of it and everything.
Is that Dead House Sonata?
Yeah, on Steam.
Yeah, that's
To be announced.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
That was in
Hey, looking at the gameplay, it looks just like 2 Human 2.
That was in 2018 when he announced that.
Yeah, it's been a while. Looks like it's still in production.
Yeah, it's been a while for sure. Yeah, they had
6-player co-op.
Oh, Zeke, you played they had they also worked on Blood Omen Legacy of Kain. Didn't you play that recently? Or did you play
No, not recently, but yes, I did play, yeah.
Yeah, same devs.
Okay.
And then they worked on X-Men Destiny, which I guess was their that's the game that killed them.
What was it called?
X-Men Destiny. X-Men Destiny. Came out in 2011.
Never even heard of that, man.
Yeah, I haven't either. That was the last game they made.
Correction. I did not play Blood Omen 2 Legacy of Kain. I played the one before it. But I do own it. It's on
Gotcha.
my list of franchise playthroughs that I have not done yet, and I think I'm on that game actually. But is that the game that people told me to skip?
I don't know.
I wonder if this is the game that people are like, don't play that one, it's fucking terrible.
Yeah, I don't know.
Which happens.
Blood Omen? I don't think
Not
Blood
the
Omen
first
was-
one. Blood Omen 2.
Chat's saying it's the bad one.
Oh. I
Okay.
mean, it may not be the best one, but I don't know if it's a terrible game. I mean, if you like, there's not a lot of them, so.
Yeah.
Then again, I haven't played it
Okay.
for 20 years. So, you know.
Cool.
Who's that?
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was reading about the drama on that X-Men game. Apparently, so that happened when Marvel acquired Disney, and that the project budget was drastically reduced. He
Or
asserted,
vice versa.
yeah, sorry. Disney acquired Marvel, yeah. He was asserted the perception of indifference had to do with resources at the developer being reallocated in response to the shift in budget. The developers were not informed of the reduced budget so as to maintain morale. To remedy this, Silicon
What?
Knights put $2 million of their own money into the project, which stunned Activision and had said on the record that it was not a good business move. He also admitted in 2019 that he was not heavily involved with the game development as he was busy handling the lawsuit against Epic Games. Yeah, I knew he had some
Jeez,
shit
man,
going
what a
on.
mess.
I knew,
Yeah, that's a mess, dude.
I knew that there was some shit going on. That lawsuit started in 2007. And it ended in 2012. Jesus. Okay. Anyways, that's a trip down memory lane. I'm glad
It's a
you're
trip
enjoying
somewhere.
this game. Exactly.
Yes.
Glad you're enjoying
Yeah,
this game,
yeah.
Zeke. I will ask you about said moment. I guess when I see you again, because you're gone. There's no show next
No,
week.
Yeah.
I'm here next week.
But
But there's no show.
next week.
yeah, there's no show.
Right.
Yeah. I
Forgot.
mean, you two definitely do a show if you want to. Don't just skip it on my accord. If you guys want to do a show,
Cohh, I want to do a show with you.
it's up to you guys.
Why would you be like this?
It's up to you guys. But I am going on a vacation this week, so
I got it.
he's out.
Man, he's taking the set with him.
He's
Taking
out.
the set with me. I'm out.
Yeah, he's out. Zeke is gone on the 25th and the 1st, right? You won't be here?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I think then the next episode will be on the 25th, me and Cohh, and I'll bring in some folks. Max should be on there. I don't want to lock in that because he said he might have some stuff scheduled. So we'll have him on in a future show. For sure.
Max will be on at some point in the future.
Yeah. I don't want to pin down a
No
date.
idea when, but
No idea when.
At some point, Max will be back.
That's correct. And then on the 20th, we haven't talked about this amongst ourselves, but there is a opening night live Jeff Keighley event on that
Oh,
Tuesday.
Gamescom.
Yeah, at Gamescom. If you guys want to watch that, he's doing another show. So I think it's in the middle of the day for us, but definitely down to watch that. I'll hit you guys up, I think, next week, and we'll figure that stuff out. But
Great.
Cool. Let's do some shout outs and call it a show. Zeke.
You bet. Thank you guys very much for watching. Yes, my throat is not healed yet, so I don't know what the fuck. I went to 2 doctors and I still don't know what's going on yet, so I got to go to a 3rd. But that can wait because I don't feel sick. It's just scratchy. That's all. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you to Cohh and JP for being my wonderful co-hosts every week. My name is Ezekiel3rd. You can find me at /Ezekiel_III on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube, and Ezekiel the Third, all spelled out, on Instagram and TikTok. If you want to know what I'm doing, I am in the middle of playing Eternal Darkness. Like I said, I will be continuing that on Tuesday. I'm also going to be playing, I'm on my Volume 7, games I haven't beat, Dragon Warrior, which I have totally looked back on that with rose-colored glasses because it's nothing but grinding for 90% of the fucking game. I had no idea. I forgot, apparently. So if you want to come back, if you want to see that, that's happening this week, probably. Also, I will be playing sometime. I have a pretty busy schedule, with sponsor stuff and 100-month games, but I will also be playing. I've been asked so many times to play Thank Goodness You're Here. I will be playing that at some point in the future. So lots of fun stuff happening on my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on Tuesday.
Fantastic. Cohh, do some shout outs.
Sure. Hi, everybody. As always, big thank you to JP and Zeke. A lot of fun, as always. I am going to be probably back this evening for a little Terraria, but definitely back soon for more Knock on the Coffin Lid. We're going to be returning to 7 Days to Die. We've got a lot of other fun stuff and things to do. And honestly, we got this, we got a couple big games coming out soon, and we have to start thinking about which one we're going to do first. Like, we have a Stalkers franchise playthrough that we got to do for the new Stalker game. We also have to play Kingdom Come Deliverance 1 again before 2. So that may start sooner rather than later.
Is that long?
A long time. It can be. It depends on how much you want to do.
Okay.
But it can also be pretty short if you just do the main story, especially if you don't do like a harder difficulty.
Got it.
So, but I kind of want to do a full playthrough since the second one is directly after involving all the same characters and stuff. So yeah, we'll have to see how that goes. But anyway, as always, thank you guys for watching. I will see you next week, if not sooner. And yeah, appreciate it.
Fantastic. What do I got going on? I will stream Monday, and I might stream Wednesday. I'm still going to be in town, but we'll see. Thursday is when I'm officially out. I'm going up, going fishing. Actually, like outside. I'm actually legitimately going fishing. You have to say that around these parts.
Going fishing.
So I'll be back the following Monday, if not Wednesday, once I kind of figure out everything. The schedule's very fluid. I'll let you guys know. Gamescom starts on the 20th, and then it's not Assassin's Creed that's out at the end of the month. It's the other Ubisoft game, Star Wars. That's what it is. The Star Wars, which had some interesting previews come out for that. So we'll see how that goes at the end of the month.
That's a word for him.
And we'll talk about it on the show. But yeah, thanks everyone so much for watching. I will say, if you want to see me go outside again, I went to the Alveus Sanctuary. That VOD is up on my channel. I think the Alveus edited version should be coming out in the next week. But I had a blast out there. So if you want to watch that, please do. You can find us on YouTube. The VOD will be up probably within the next hour or so. YouTube.com/itmeJP. As well as places where you can get podcasts like Apple iTunes, Google Music, all that different stuff.
All that's, yeah.
We're out of here. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Appreciate you. Have a good time. Zeke, I'll see you when I see you. Have fun at Burning Man. I guess
have a great time, man.
Well, unless we see you for Gamescom. We might see you on the 20th. But if we don't,
Zeke, I'm gonna ask something of you, Zeke.
Uh-oh.
You do it.
You've been doing this show a long time. You've been doing Burning Man a long time. Zeke, I want you to bring us a souvenir.
Ooh.
I want you to bring us, I want 2 things. 1, I want an item that represents Burning Man. And 2, we need at least some pictures or video or something. Like, you got to bring us a little.
No, every time I come back from Burning Man, I do like 4 hours of recap.
Well, okay, that's a lot. Maybe like 4 minutes. Yeah, but no, like seriously,
give us a 4-minute.
I would love. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Let's JP. Yeah. Can we give Zeke 5 minutes on the show that comes back, and it will be Zeke's job to fill that 5 minutes with Burning Man.
Dude, Burning Man is like you ever met someone who just went into like like rehab or recovery, like they're super into it. That's kind of like what Burning Man is. Like you come back from it, you're like, dude, do you have some time?
Okay,
but
here
to you about this.
Here's the challenge though. I want all of that in 5 minutes. Can you it's like a quest.
Try.
I'm sending you on a
I'll
quest.
do my best.
I want distilled, concentrated Burning Man.
You have to though, like if I get derailed on something, you have to put me back on track because I will.
Okay. Well,
All right.
me and JP can do that. We'll bring those big hooks like they used to bring people off stage back in the day, and we'll like start pulling you back. Okay.
Exactly.
Let's do it.
Exactly. That's it for this week. Thanks everyone so much for watching. We are out of here. See you next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.